Homecoming is always a time for celebration and reacquaintance. And at Tennessee, fans are saying hello to more than just a few old friends. Because here in the South, where football is king, the Vols are back on top.
Song of the South, sweet potato pie and a shut my mouth. Gone with the wind, there ain't nobody looking back again.
Last year, Johnny Majors and Tennessee suffered through the worst start in school history, but the Volunteers didn't quit, and now 9 straight opponents have been slammed to the turf. With the reemergence of Reggie Cobb, Tennessee is in the running for the SEC crown. Titles and crowns were a big part of the Vince Dooley era at Georgia, but now the top dog is Ray Goff, who in 1976 quarterbacked the Bulldogs all the way to the Sugar Bowl. If Georgia is to return in 1989, Rodney Hampton will lead the way. But when you talk titles, you talk defense, and to be successful, the Dogs will have to hunker down. This is the Tennessee River, which runs through downtown Knoxville, Tennessee. And what you're looking at, they call themselves the Volunteer Navy. Yes, hundreds, and I mean hundreds of volunteer fans come to home games by way of water to this stadium here, Neyland Stadium, and regardless of how you get here, over 93,000 on hand to see tonight's matchup between the Bulldogs of Georgia and the Volunteers, ranked number 6 in the nation of Tennessee. Hello, everybody. I'm Ron Franklin, and welcome back into another Saturday evening with ESPN and college football. Back down south in the Southeastern Conference, where times they are a-changing. First of all, Vince Dooley, after 25 years, steps down as the head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs. Enter one Ray Goff, only 34 years of age, one of the youngest head coaches in the nation. And Kevin Kiley, this is his first road game. This is not the most selective spot to have to come and play with the young football team, is it?
That's a tough act to follow for Ray Goff. He takes over for Vince Dooley, has to come here to Knoxville after 3 games this season. Ray Goff trails Vince Dooley in career wins by just 199, and this will be his first SEC road game. Very difficult. The young players he brings here, 44 of 68 of the players coming here to Knoxville will be sophomores or younger. How they will react to this 90,000 plus, it's anybody's guess. Now, Rodney Hampton is the best player on the team, the running back, maybe the best for Georgia since Herschel Walker. Greg Talley is a very fine but a young quarterback. The key to this game, I believe, is the fullback, Brian Cleveland. He's the leading receiver for balance. They needed to get to Brian Cleveland. He needs to run and catch a few passes.
Kev, you know, Georgia is not the only one that made some changes. Tennessee last year got off to the worst start in the school's history, 0-6. Johnny Majors reshuffled the staff. Since then, they have won 9 straight football games. Majors got it going again.
Yeah, you know, they said to Johnny Majors when he was 0-6 last year, said, Johnny, what are you going to do? What do you think? He said, well, I'm just going to keep on keeping on, and that's just what he's done. There's a lot of wisdom in that. This was supposed to be a passing team, but it's turned out to be a steamroller running attack, led, of course, by Reggie Cobb and Chuck Webb. Cobb got 225 yards last week against Auburn. Tennessee got 350 yards on the ground. But as far as the winning streak goes, I think probably the defense is the key. They went to a 4-3 alignment. They're very young, very aggressive, and they've made it work. What's the difference tonight? Maybe this crowd, 93,000 people. And you know, the last time I saw this many people, it was raining, and Joan Baez was on stage singing.
Woodstock?
Yeah, that was what. Were you there? Was that you with the pigtails?
I read about it. The teams are ready. The coaches are ready. And here come the Bulldogs. And here comes Tennessee. ESPN's College Football Saturday, Georgia versus Tennessee, is brought to you by Channel Lock. Made in America for you who want the best. By Fuji, makers of quality film and cameras. Fuji, a new way of seeing things. And by Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
When the job is tough, you need the best. And when you need the best, you reach for Channel Lock. For the power. The precision. For just plain counting on, there's only one. Channel Lock. Be sure you're getting genuine Channel Lock tools. Look for this trademark.
Miss Caitlin Phillips demonstrates the loading of the new Fuji Discovery 60 compact camera. As with most Fuji cameras, the Discovery 60 comes complete with autofocus, auto flash, and auto wind. And one more feature that you can't get on any other make of camera. Drop-in loading. So now you can load a roll of film faster than you can get it out of the box. Only Fuji cameras have drop-in loading. Fuji, a new way of seeing things.
Honey, I think it's time we got a new set of Michelins.
Couldn't we save a little on a cheaper brand?
Well, our last set of Michelins got over 60,000 miles.
We've got to watch every penny now that Becky's going away to college.
Yeah, but, you know, there's one thing more important than putting Becky through college.
What's that?
Making sure she gets there.
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Federal Express is a good example. Key management types carry SkyTel's nationwide pagers with voicemail. They keep up with business and each other. Because an important message is like a package. It absolutely, positively has to get there. SkyTel, that great communication system in the sky. For more information, call 1-800-222-8778.
Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee, and it could be called the quiet before the storm. And you know, Kev, one of the great things about college football, and particularly in this rivalry in the Southeastern Conference, a couple of veteran announcers. Larry Munson, voice of the Bulldogs, 23 years, hunkered down is the phrase that he put together. John Ward, voice of the Volunteers. He's a great one. John has been around for 22 years. Series history, way back to 1892. 1899, I beg your pardon. Number 27, Greg Burke for the Tennessee Volunteers. The dual safety, Arthur Marshall, number 12, and on the near side, 37, is Brian Cleveland. But we do have a bit of a prevailing wind as the ball came off the tee for a second. Now Burke is set. Out of bounds, 5-yard penalty, and it will come back to the 30-yard line, and they will do it all over again. So Georgia and Tennessee. You see the flags above the stadium, and they are swirling actually in the picture that you see left to right, which would be coming out of the north. And it is supposed to get somewhat cooler here in the Knoxville area tonight. Ray Goff, the 34-year-old head coach at the University of Georgia, lost last week to South Carolina after winning a couple of games at home to open his career. And Johnny Majors. Kick again to the far sideline. It is Marshall at the 10. Runs into his own man as he crosses the 25, and he is out to the 27. And now for tonight's road handler starting lineup. The quarterback is Greg Talley out of Valdosta, Georgia. The running backs, keep an eye on Rodney Hampton. His fullback is Brian Cleveland. The wide receivers, Sean Hummings and Kevin Maxwell. The tight end is Kirk Warner. Down in the trenches, the center, Jack Swan, a redshirt freshman. The guards, Hayes Sadler and Russell Dufour. At the tackles, Will Colley and Kirk Moe. Hampton to the right side, takes it out to the 31-yard line, and let's meet the defensive unit for the Tennessee Volunteers. Mark Moore and Martin Williams are the defensive tackles. They use the basic 4-3. Marion Hobby and Tracy Hayworth, the defensive ends. Linebacker in the middle, Shazan Bradley. On the outside, Ernest Fields and Darryl Hardy. In the secondary, it's Preston Warren and Kelly Days. And the safeties, Mark Fletcher and Jason Julian. Hampton again from the customary I formation, and oh, what a stick as he gets up to the 34-yard line, as Tennessee will come after you. And you can see number 40, Shazan Bradley, the middle linebacker, is the man who rocked his head back.
University of Georgia has never been a fancy or a complicated offense. They will run primarily to the tight end, and they will run primarily with their great tailback, and that would be Hampton.
Needing the 37. They roll the pocket, and he will take it close to the first down, and I don't think he's going to make it. Again, it is Bradley from the middle linebacking spot. And Kevin from here would appear about a half-yard shy.
Nice reaction there by Bradley, the middle linebacker. And it is short. Talley is a kid whose strength is running the football team. He does not have great speed, not a great passer, not a great runner, and you saw it on that play.
Hester will come on to punt for the Georgia Bulldogs. The deep man, you see number 5, Thomas Woods. Hester with an average of just over 38 per kick. He rides this one very high in a wobbly spiral. Woods hit immediately. That's Mike Jones on the special teams. 45 yards in the kick and only 1 on the return. And let's meet the offense for Tennessee. Sterling Henton is the starter at quarterback. Behind him, Reggie Cobb and Roland Poles. The wide receivers, Thomas Woods and Alvin Harper. The tight end is Mark Adams. The center, John Fisher, flanked by some very good ones. Tom Mislinski and Eric Still. Charles McCray and Antone Davis for the tackles. Reggie Cobb breaks it on the first play, and he has 11 yards all the way out to the 31. George Wynn from his quarterback spot comes over to make the stop. Let's meet the Bulldog defense.
First, let's do this replay, Ron. Right away, they come out unbalanced left. McCray and Davis, the tackles, both on the left side, looking to create some space, and they did for the great running back. Cobb picks up a first down. They will go unbalanced.
To the right side, up over the 35 to the 36. Amsler in the ball game at fullback. Will take it for a couple. Robert Bell is the nose guard for Georgia. The 2 defensive tackles, Hiawatha Berry and Bill Goldberg. Goldberg, a great one. Mo Lewis, one of the linebackers at the outside, along with Norman Cowens. The inside backers, Kirk Douglas and Demetrius Douglas. In the secondary, George Wynn, who made the tackle a moment ago, along with Chris Wilson, David Hargan, and Ben Smith are the safeties. They go with the reverse. That is Moore. At the 50, needs a block that is going to be tackled inside the 35 at the 34. It's Ben Smith who saved a touchdown after a gain of 31.
Tennessee came out unbalanced again, this time to the right. They're going to run a reverse. Everybody goes to the offensive right, and here they come back. Now, Norman Cowens is out here one-on-one, but he is absolutely no match here. Vince Moore, too small, too quick, and too flat out fast. He goes down inside the 35-yard line. Great call by Tennessee.
First time in Bulldog territory. Reggie Cobb will be tripped up at the line of scrimmage. 94, Robert Bell, a sophomore out of Richmond, Virginia, makes the play defensively. It'll be a second down and long, Tennessee.
Georgia would like to roll their secondary to the unbalanced line, but when they get in the middle of the field and they do that, you can see what happened. The reverse, the secondary rolled one way, the line was full, there was no one out there. They have to be very careful how they play the unbalanced line of Tennessee.
Cobb Right side, puts a shoulder down inside the 30. He's at the 27. And George Wendt again on the stop. But I have a feeling that Ray Goff is saying my secondary is making far too many tackles on this opening drive.
Well, that's because his line is outmanned. They have more people on the left, but this time they're going to run to your right as you watch the television. 2 men on the right, and here they come with power. Fullback on the corner, and Cobb reading it very well, able to turn his shoulders upfield. With Reggie Cobb, you have to make him go parallel the line of scrimmage.
Cobb, who went out of the ballgame momentarily, comes back in, and he cracks his way not only for the first down, he's inside the 20. Mo Lewis for the Georgia Bulldogs.
You need to understand the defensive line of Georgia, very young players in key positions, and they are playing against Charles McCray, 283 pounds, Myslinski, 278, Fisher, 275, Eric Still, probably the best of the bunch at 283, and Antoine Davis at right tackle, over 300 pounds for Tennessee.
First pass of the night. Henton tucks it in. Will scramble for 5 and 10. It will be first and goal, Tennessee at the 9. David Hargett defensively. You see the numbers. One of the facts that is interesting in Tennessee's 4-0 start, they have not thrown a touchdown pass in the 1989 season.
You won't see them pass here either. They're dominating at the line of scrimmage. They're going to come right at him.
The handoff this time, Chuck Webb. Right side for a couple, and in that tough Georgia defense. Steps up Kirk Douglas, one of the first men there, number 43.
They went with a balanced line, 2 tight ends as they got inside their red zone or close to the line of scrimmage. Georgia had a lot of difficulty with the balanced line, but played with the unbalanced line, played that very well. You might see Tennessee go back to the unbalanced line.
Left side, touchdown Webb. Smokey is happy as the Vols take the ball on their opening drive and move it right down the field. Greg Burke to attempt the extra point. 12 of 12 with that one.
Chuck Webb needs to be thankful to his line. Okay, tight left. Here he comes. They just block him, blow him off the ball. You know, with this toss pitch thing they're using off the I formation, their tailbacks very well coached. They're taking it real deep. Watch how deep he takes it. He's waiting for his block. See that little hesitation step? And look at the blocking up front. That was Tom Myslinski blocking 2 people so he could get in.
So Reggie Cobb started off the drive, then Chuck Webb. That's the reason they call it the Cobb-Webb offense.
The fiber that's pound for pound, 5 times stronger than steel, and is used in this bullet-resistant vest, makes up the unique belt of Road Handler Treadlock radios. Great low prices, Road Handler tough. That's your money's worth and a whole lot more.
Do you know what it's like to hear the cheers at the Rose Bowl as they rise up from 100,000 seats? Now you do. Adidas Aftershave and Cologne, the essence of sports.
This Jeep Cherokee is doing the kind of four-wheeling that its competition isn't designed to do. Unlike Cherokee, the competition recommends shifting out of four-wheel drive on paved surfaces, which is unfortunate since you never know when you might need it. But Cherokee with SelectTrack gives you the security of remaining in four-wheel drive on any surface. After all, doing what other vehicles can't do is what Jeep does best.
Now, get up to $1,000 cash back on 1992 and four-door Jeep Cherokees.
Liberty Mutual presents The Accident That Never Happened.
Because as America's largest insurer for workers' compensation, Liberty Mutual has done more to help prevent injuries on the job than any other insurance company. Caring for people is why America believes in liberty.
Great view, huh?
America believes in liberty. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
ESPN's College Football Saturday, Georgia versus Tennessee, is brought to you by Jeep. There's only one Jeep. And by Liberty Mutual, for your personal insurance, business insurance, and financial service needs. Neyland Stadium. The sun is setting here in this part of Tennessee, and Burke will kick it off with the Vols on top, 7-0. Brian Cleveland at the 3. Cleveland over the 20 to the 25-yard line. Nice job on the return as Preston Warren downfield on the special teams. And let's check out the scoring drive. Kevin, 10 plays, 80 yards, just over 3.5 minutes. And Webb comes in. Interesting thing about Webb is Cobb gets so much billing. Webb, they say, is about a step quicker.
They did not throw a pass, Ron, on that series. But Georgia might here on first down.
Talley gives it to Hampton. He will be whacked down after a gain of 1, and it's Tracy Hayworth, big number 88, stepping across from that right defensive end position.
You wonder what the difference in the Tennessee team is. They now play a 4-3. Better utilize their personnel. They're a little bit smaller, but a lot quicker. But number 88, Tracy Hayworth, will show you that. They play a very simple defense. Georgia needs to exploit their linebackers. They're all sophomores, misdirection, quick passes.
Motion, they look to him for the quick screen. Gets behind a block, out to the 30, loses the football, still scrambling. Who's got it? Tennessee football.
We were wondering how the younger players would react. It was Hampton's fumble last week against South Carolina that hurt Georgia. Here again, scrambling for the extra yards, get a hat right there on the ball, and now it is loose, and here come the orange shirts. They're quicker, and they go to the ball, and they get to the ball right there. Number 39, Kelly Days, recovers.
Hunter Steele is the man who knocked it loose. Back to throw, and Hinton will go down under the pressure. David Hargett coming in on a blitz from his strong safety position. Loss of 7. Ray Goff feeling as though he's got to shake things up a bit.
All right, well, you're blitzing now. This is right from where the blitzer came. Number 25, Hargett. An interesting call. They were so successful on the run, but Georgia really loading up now for the run. And they figure they get a quick strike there. It didn't happen.
Protection breaking down, and it's Goldberg. They call Bill Goldberg probably the best defensive lineman in the Southeastern Conference, and he demonstrates right there why he gets such accolades. That is a loss of 9.
Going against number 79, maybe the best offensive guard. They say Bill Goldberg has a screw loose, that he's wild and woolly. Well, he handles Eric Still in no time and gets to Hinton. 2 attempted passes for Tennessee, 2 sacks.
Billy Goldberg out of Tulsa Edison High School, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Screen and draw.
Gonna go long, near sideline, and through the fingertips of Anthony Morgan. He was there. Oh my goodness.
Anthony Morgan, number 80, high school All-American, one of the strongest receiving corps in the nation, and a perfect pass from Sterling Hinton.
Oh my goodness. You could see the expression on that cheerleader's face in the end zone, and that said it all. It was there.
It was help from the safety. Anthony Morgan outran the coverage.
Kent Elmore, the punter. Great coverage kick. Georgia runs away from it, and Tennessee can't get there in time. That was Sean Walker, number 45, with his tiptoes on the goal line. 7-0. Vols on top.
Winning has become quite routine for Jeep Comanche, whether it's under these conditions or any other.
Now get up to $1,500 cash back on select Jeep Comanches.
Just off Route 19 in St. Petersburg is a place where you can learn to ski the Alps and shoot the rapids all in the same building. At Bill Jackson Sporting Goods, you can practice everything from a stem Christie to an Eskimo roll. But if you go there, remember, bring your imagination and your Visa card. Because Bill Jackson doesn't promise you Sun Moritz, and he doesn't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Sunday, you could try watching every NFL game, but there's a better way. Start with ESPN's Emmy Award-winning NFL Game Day. Learn what to look for and why in the only hour-long preview of the day's action. Later, NFL Primetime showcases every key play from every game. The shows the pros would watch if they weren't busy. NFL Game Day and NFL Primetime, Sundays on ESPN.
Sound advice if you want to be the best informed. NFL Game Day and Primetime tomorrow. Talley has the ball batted in the air and knocked away by Marion Hobby. Number 90, the senior out of Irondale, Alabama.
Hobby did this 5 times last week. They had 8 knockdown passes, did Tennessee, and a defensive lineman knocked 5 of them down. I mean, this guy can play the defensive line. Since they moved him to end, he's been a much improved football player, maybe a great one.
Running play, that's Ware. Over the right side, out to the 26, and let's go to Bob Carpenter for an update.
All right, Ron, thank you. Stanford giving Notre Dame a tough time out west, but the go-ahead touchdown for the Irish comes on a 1-yard plunge by Anthony Johnson. They've added a field goal and lead by 10, fourth quarter.
Thanks, Bob. We have the Irish next week here on ESPN at our primetime game at the Air Force Academy. Ware again. Cuts behind the blocking of his fullback Ellis, but Shazan Bradley is there to knock him down, and he is short of the first down.
Georgia went with the unbalanced line left. Did not fool Tennessee. They made the play.
Joey Hester, 45 yards on his first effort. Thomas Woods, the single deep man, or the deepest of 3 for Tennessee. Volunteers with the return on. Woods calls for the fair catch, and Tennessee will take it over just inside the 35-yard line. That's a kick of 37 yards. Well, don't forget, immediately after our game, it's College Football Scoreboard Show. Bob Carpenter, Bino Cook, and Lee Corso bringing you up to date on this first weekend in October. Then, folks, at 10:30, it is out to the Pac-10, where Arizona State will battle 25th ranked UCLA. Chuck Webb breaks it out and needs one man to beat. Out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Ben Smith finally pushed him out.
Number 43, Kirk Douglas is blitzing Antoine Davis, a crunching block on the right there. Well, that was Eric Still with the crunching block. Here you go, let's look at it from behind. Eric Still just blows him out, and here goes the Webb while LeCobb rests. Now it's a foot race.
Flag Flags are down. Violation against the Tennessee Volunteers. One of the few mistakes that the Volunteers have made all
Before
night.
the ball was snapped, we had movement by the offensive line for a false start. Be first down again.
Ben Smith, the free safety for Georgia, is the man being helped down the sideline. We'll try to get a report on him.
Big loss, all-conference player. Tremendous loss.
Reggie Cobb back in the ball game, but the quick out pass comes to Morgan. Tries to work behind his blockers, and he'll be tackled around the 22-yard line. As Demetrius Douglas and Mo Lewis coming over to combine in the stop for Georgia.
Again, Eric Still, the offensive guard, 283 pounds, was out in front of that pass. There he is, 79, just to the right center of your screen.
On the run just a moment ago by Webb, you could see the great blocking downfield with the wide receivers of Tennessee. Johnny Major said his guys are some of the best around at that. Reggie Cobb hammers it inside the 20. And it's going to bring up a third down situation, and Tennessee needs the 16-yard line. Johnny Majors, 13th season here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Gets it away, going for the end zone, and he just overthrows it. That's Morgan, the intended receiver. And you see those running backs helping Hinton up off the turf as he got sandwiched just as soon as he got the football away.
Clearly, Georgia would much prefer Tennessee to throw the ball. And when they get in a passing situation, they're not going to give Sterling Hinton any time, and they're going to make him remember when he does attempt to throw it, as they did there. Cowens was one in the back, with one in the back.
Greg Burke to attempt the field goal of 37 yards. He's 3 of 4, his longest 45 against UCLA. Plenty of distance, and he's good. So Greg Burke puts the Volunteers on top 10-0.
Get summertime savings at Ron Carter Chevrolet in Pearland, but hurry before these hot deals cool down.
Get $600 cash back on Cavalier.
Buy now before the 90s increase, and while selection is great, $500 cash back on Camaros. $1,000 cash back on Caprice. From the Clear Lake Ness area, take 518 west to Pearland.
I like to cruise the highway in my brand new Chevy.
See Ron Carter Chevrolet.
Summer clearance is going on now at Nationwide Mobile Homes. Come in today and save on the home of your dreams. All new Nationwide homes come with a 5-year service guarantee. Easy financing and home site selection is available. The temperature is up and prices are down at Nationwide Mobile Homes Summer Clearance. You'll find the features you want at prices you'll love. Nationwide homes are spacious, beautiful, and built with quality. Stop by Nationwide today, Highway 288, 4 miles south of the Astrodome at Beltway 8.
Even the most remote areas of the country can now be reached at the following number.
Ron Franklin and Kevin Kiley back in Knoxville, Tennessee for this SEC matchup between Georgia and Tennessee. And the win we talked about a moment ago has just blown the ball off the tee again. Kev, second week in a row, and in fact, all season long, we have seen the magnificent crowds, which really makes college football exactly what it is. Last week in Morgantown, and over 93,000 this week here in Knoxville. Brian Cleveland from the 12. This Tennessee football team, both offensively, defensively, and special teams, you could see by the contact and the kick return. They are really fired up and excited about a 4-0 start. Here's that last drive. 5 plays, 45 yards, 134, and it was Burke with the field goal.
Georgia needs to do something different offensively. They're not going to overpower this team. They need to trick them, run counters, some misdirection, get those linebackers messed up.
The fake to Hampton. Pass is incomplete. Looking for Kurt Warner, who had come toward the sideline, and he juggled it. Kirk now a starter after being a backup. Some scores. Notre Dame wins by 10 over Stanford. We'll have the Irish next week against Air Force. USC wins over Washington. Tough battle in the Pac-10. Ohio State falls big to Illinois. That one's final. And Washington State leading Oregon. They're in the second quarter. Hampton takes it off the right side as a marker goes down. He is into the secondary and finally stopped near midfield. But from where the marker has been thrown, for Georgia fans, I am afraid it was the umpire who threw it, and that usually is offensive holding.
During the run, we had holding by offensive lineman, 10-yard penalty, be second down and 20.
Well, Kev, they had the big play that you were talking about. Just something plus some field position. And now they're going to have to come back.
Watch Sean Walker here, number 45. He takes a step in the wrong direction, and here comes the counter to Hampton. That was holding in there somewhere, but you can see what I was talking about. Here, you'll see it again, 45. They start this way. Great tailbacks like Hampton cut it back, and he does, and you see what they are capable of. They can break a big one.
Yeah, Hampton doesn't need much room, as you can see there. Talley with good protection as they roll the pocket, and the pass is overthrown. Arthur Marshall, the intended receiver. Marion Hobby was the Tennessee figure who had a hand in Talley's face, big number 90.
Well, they wanted to go an out and up. Kelly Days never moved. There's Marion Hobby. You look at him, and he is one of the finest in the nation. What happened on that pass pattern? Kelly Days just sat in the deep zone, and there was nothing there.
Kev, I talked about field position at the 20, the 25, and the 20. That's extremely tough for anybody, veteran ball club or not.
Very difficult on Georgia because they don't have the strong passing game.
Draw play to Hampton. Where? Number 24, I beg your pardon, all the way out to the 35-yard line, and that is a Georgia first down. Kelly Days saved what could have been a touchdown.
Now that was Ray Goff, not an offensive guard. He's a former quarterback head coach. Unbalanced to your left. The offensive line, they just outmanned him. Good blocks at the point of attack, and here comes Ware now, and he's loose. A good call, but the unbalanced line on a 3rd and long should have tipped Tennessee off to the draw play. It didn't. This guy got a first down.
That's the longest run for Georgia from scrimmage this year. Talley in the play action will keep it. Oh, my goodness. You could hear the groans, and Mark Moore, who has been suffering from a virus and was questionable until yesterday, is the man who wrapped him up. And that's with a capital W.
Talley is a young player. Excellent quarterback. He led his high school to the national championship, I believe, at Valdosta. A tremendous, tremendous competitor, but not real quick and not making decisions very fast tonight. Against Tennessee, he needs to decide a little sooner.
Out of the flat to Hampton. Breaks off a couple of tackles, and he's loose. Inside the 45, and he's down to the 40. Daryl Hardy saved what could have been a touchdown there. It's good for 23. Kevin, he just ran right by 2, if not 3 defenders.
Couple of things happen here. This young offensive line does a terrific job for Greg Talley, and Talley will make a quicker decision. He'll get the ball to Hampton. He has time to turn around. Gets his shoulders square, and now when you look at him and see how fast he is, you don't realize the guy's 6 foot, 215 pounds, and he's like a fullback out there.
I slighted him one. There were at least 4. Outside handoff goes to the fullback, Ellis. It will go for a couple. Well, as we close out the 80s, some of the top teams, Nebraska, Miami, Brigham Young, and Georgia. 78% winning percentage, having won 85 ball games. And of course, this is part of the pressure that young Ray Goff has planted squarely on his shoulders.
We talked to Vince Dooley yesterday, and he said he feels the program is in good hands. Ray Goff played quarterback for Vince Dooley late in the 70s. Said he was an offensive guard playing quarterback.
Daryl Hardy is the man who was shaken up, the outside linebacker on the right for Tennessee.
You see him tap his head. That's an old defense, and that means I have no idea what I'm doing. So I got my bell rung. You take him over there, ask him his name, his address, have him count to 5, and push it back on the field.
Franklin, Kevin Kiley, Knoxville, Tennessee, closing moments of this first quarter. Pressure is on, pass is complete to Hummings, inside the 20 and down to the 17. Greg Talley for 25 yards.
Ron Hummings caught it, but watch Talley. He's going to get blown out after he throws this thing. Young quarterback will stand there, and he knows he's going to get smacked right in the chest to Hummings in the middle of the field. Tennessee, a zone team primarily, and he found the hole.
This is Hampton. Looks for a block. There is none. Tracy Hayworth, one of the first ones to come across along with Bradley, as it's a picture-perfect job of containment by the Tennessee defense.
The thing about a 4-3 that makes it so tough, you can get 7-8 people at the line of scrimmage. It's very difficult to run against. And you have those 3 linebackers sitting back there very, very mobile. If you have good defensive linemen, it's a defense that's very difficult to run against.
Talley has gone to the far sideline to confer with his head coach, and Georgia will let the clock run out. That's the end of the first quarter. So let's take a break. Tennessee leads, Georgia threatening.
Most of my friends don't know what they're going to do after graduation, but I've already locked in guaranteed skill training in the Army. Qualify now and you can reserve even the Army's most sought-after technical training, up to 12 months in advance, through the Army's delayed entry program. Sure, being a soldier won't be easy, but then nothing worth having ever is.
The fiber that's pound for pound, 5 times stronger than steel, and is used in this bullet-resistant vest, makes up the unique belt of Road Handler Treadlock radials. Great low prices, Road Handler tough. That's your money's worth and a whole lot more.
The weather? That's no excuse. Oh, yes, you do. Introducing Excuse-Proof Exercise, the affordable ergometer from DP, with air resistance for total no-impact fitness at home. Made in America for bodies that need no excuses. The DP Ergometer. No more excuses, America.
Xerox presents the Great American Torture Test. We challenged the bone-numbing cold of northern Alaska and passed with flying colors. Xerox. Because extreme conditions demand extreme protection.
You're looking sharp. You're looking good. You've come so far, and we know how to make the most of who you are. Where the race is run, you're the champion. Gillette,
The Gillette Atra Plus system and Gillette Foamy Shave Cream, together the best a man can get.
Hello,
Hello, Tim Conway here to Conway Lodge with memory expert Dr. Scatterly.
Yes, you know, Jim, I travel all over the country teaching my
memory course, Doc.
And I love that wonderful, unforgettable whatchamacallit number.
Reservations number.
Who could forget 1-800-55-ECONO? That's it. Plus, everybody's so friendly. Why, Cheryl there at the desk always remembers me.
Shirley.
Say, would you like to stop in for a moment?
No.
Oh, I could have swore that was my girl.
Spend a night, not a fortune at Econo Lodge.
10-0 as we open the second quarter. Ball at the 19, second down, Georgia. Talley throws it back. That's the tight end Warner. And he is going to be knocked out of bounds on a really fine read by the Tennessee defense. Ernest Fields, the first man to get outside. Then Sean Walker.
I don't know if people realize how good that read was. You're right. They went unbalanced to the wide side, meaning they had more offensive linemen to the wide side, then threw back to the weak, and the Tennessee defense was there. They had the right call. They reacted perfectly. It's a play that should have worked.
Bulldogs 1 of 3 third down conversions. They need the 8. Hampton at the 15. Jason Julian was the first man, and then you could see he was covered in orange. John Casey, the field goal kicker, 8 of 9 in the year. His longest 49 yards against Mississippi State at this attempt from 32 yards far hash mark. Hester with a good hold, and he is good. So Casey goes 9 of 10 in the year, and the Georgia Bulldogs are on the scoreboard here in Knoxville. Volunteer lead cut back to 7 points as we take a look at the storyline in this one so far, as we're early on in the second quarter in this battle in the Southeastern Conference. Tennessee, 2 of 3 possessions they have scored. And the rushing yardage, well, Tennessee has done it for the first 4 games, and they're starting off red hot again tonight on the ground. And on average gain on first down, possibly the throw that you were talking about a while ago, that Georgia might have to start doing more of that.
Well, they need to shake it up, but you know, I was looking for a feel in this game, and I've done Georgia games, and the only thing I can tell you, the statistics say Tennessee, but the feeling, it's a Georgia game. It's 10-3.
Really?
And it's kind of a strange game. You know, it's getting to be one of those games where a field goal, a touchdown is the difference in the game. That's early, but that's the feeling I get. Not that they're going to win, but that they are hanging in there.
Number 15 was Carl Pickens, one of the deep backs, along with Terrence Cleveland. And here's Casey's kick, and he will line this one out of the base of the end zone. Now let's get another update from Bob Carpenter. Bobby?
All right, Ron, from the SEC to the Pac-10, Washington State at Oregon, and a big play for the Cougars. Anthony Pryor with the block. Into the end zone goes Paul Carr for the lead, but they've lost wide receiver Tim Stallworth with a knee injury in the second quarter.
Thanks, Bob. We talk about people that are excited around the country. Pullman, Washington, those people are really up in the air about that club.
Well, you really have to give it to that program. They lost their coach, and they're still coming back. And their quarterback.
Reggie Cobb cuts it back into the middle, will be tackled at the 30, and that appears to be enough for the first down from where they have spotted it as Hargett came up from the secondary and finally put a headgear on it.
All right, you're going to see a converted defensive tackle here. This is McCray, Charles McCray, 283. Now watch Mylinski. He's got Goldberg, 95. He puts him right on the ground. And there goes the, you know, running backs don't have too much to do when you get blocking like that.
Charles McCray, who we just lauded on that last play, got anxious. As you could see, Hinton was looking around with an audible.
McCray is a great story. McCray was a defensive tackle last year when we here at ESPN did the Tennessee-Georgia game. Georgia came out, ran for 415 yards in that game over this guy, or pretty much over him. They turned him about mid-year. They made him an offensive tackle, and he keeps getting better and better. As you can see, he's a very fine offensive tackle tonight.
Reggie Cobb again, and look at the size of the hole, and he's loose in the secondary for a moment. Mo Lewis, 57, finally put a stopper on him, the junior out of Peachtree, Georgia. But to make the point that Kevin was alluding to a moment ago, just continue to look at the holes Tennessee is providing.
The M&M boys, Myslinski and McCray. And look at the green around Cobb. But Georgia defense gets him to go laterally here, and that's what saves it. They get him running across the field. And then the thing about Georgia, too, is they don't quit. Coach Goff says they'll keep coming, they're young, they get behind, but they will come and they will pound you through the course of the game.
Straight ahead handoff, that's Amsler, the fullback. Now he was lined up behind Mark Davis. You could see the play started off with a tight end, and they flipped him over to the slot formation as tempers flare a little bit here in the second quarter.
Well, that's bound to happen. You know, this is a fist fight, and the littlest guy on the field, Thomas Woods, 5'10", 168. Tennessee's turned their wide receivers into offensive guards, and now they want to fight. They never get the ball thrown to them, and they're all great receivers, but they run so well that they have to block.
10-3, Tennessee on top. Reggie Cobb, the lone setback. Turns it back inside. Most backs would have been stopped. He picks up 5. That will be a Tennessee first down. Good heavens, what an effort. And if he gets a little winded, then 44 comes into the ballgame. And that is the headache that opponents have faced so far in 1989.
They work so well together, Ron, they take themselves out. Cobb and Webb, when they get winded, they just call for the other one. The coaches don't do it, the running backs do it.
This is Webb, right up the middle. He'll go for about 4. That's Bill Goldberg, who has him around the ankles. David Cutcliffe is the offensive backfield coach here at Tennessee, and I had a chance to visit with him, Kevin, on Thursday afternoon as the team came off the field. And he said that Chuck has really matured so very quickly, and that Cobb has been one of the great influences on him. He said there's not jealousy between these two guys. You can see the linebacker blitz coming as Webb will take it at left guard, get to midfield. Tennessee will be confronted with a 3rd down and 4 as Goldberg again.
Henton, what they're doing is they're checking to the bubble. See the bubble in the defense? Watch them run to where the linebacker on the left, excuse me, on the right. That would be on the defensive right. There's a hole in the line, and they're just running right at the hole to the uncovered lineman. Henton made that. It was an audible call.
Tennessee needs the 46. Henton winds it up way downfield, and it is incomplete at the 5. Ben Smith tipped it. Well, the hamstring that he pulled slightly back in the first quarter obviously is okay. And again, it was 95 Bill Goldberg who was applying pressure.
Well, Goldberg does a tremendous job here. Look at him keep the outside leverage. And Hinton's a pretty good runner. Forces him to pull up at the sideline. This ball should never have been thrown. George is there, Smith is there, they can't come down with it, but pretty good defense.
Ken Elmore loosening the leg. Arthur Marshall. Wobbly spiral, but a good coverage kick as Tennessee downfield, and this one's going to come up a little bit shorter than we thought. Out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So the kick is for 25. We're going to go away for a moment.
Trofeo, trofeo. It's a new generation and we want a new boat.
Sequential port, fuel injection, anti-lock brakes.
Paydays come and we want a new boat.
Visual information center, handles great.
This Oldsmobile is not our father's.
New generation for the sons and daughters.
Trofeo. This is the new generation of Oldsmobile.
Life's full of simple pleasures, like the comfort of Levi's jeans. Or had you forgotten?
It's 32 degrees, and Jan Trumpeter is learning all about her antifreeze. The hard way.
Why is this happening to me?
Don't push your luck. Guarantee it with Advanced Formula Prestone.
The product. The proving grounds. The results. STP gas treatment is the edge.
ESPN's College Football Saturday, Georgia versus Tennessee, is brought to you by Oldsmobile and their all-new four-door Cutlass Supreme, and by Levi's 505 and 506 jeans. Ron Franklin and Kevin Kiley in Knoxville, Tennessee. Just over 10 to play until halftime. And a new quarterback for the Georgia Bulldogs, Preston Jones, a redshirt freshman out of Anderson, South Carolina, 6'3", 220 pounds. Goes with the quick inside handoff to Ellis. A little more on Jones. Very big for a quarterback and more of a pocket passer. Well, the Houston Cougars and Andre Ware, look at the numbers. 510 yards. Third period.
Major Harris stumbled along with West Virginia today against Virginia Tech, 12-10. Tony Rice and Notre Dame squeaking by Stanford. Andre Ware maybe for the Heisman at this point.
Jones back in the pocket. They set screen to the near sideline, and oh my goodness, the defense by Marion Hobby. This is two different series that Tennessee has been so totally on the keys. One was the throwback to the short side, and now the screen. And that's really well coached.
This is Smarts. You're right. Smarts and coaching. He's going to feel this. Where's the blocking? Well, I don't really feel the blocking. He's not really trying to block me. Well, that means they must be trying to do something else. Defensive end, Hobby out there on Cleveland. Another thing that's wrong with that play is the first down. You have to get more yardage on first down. If they're looking for screen draw or the pass, they're going to be much more aware of it.
Preston Jones needs the 36-yard line. Hampton across the 35, and he's loose in the secondary again. Finally stopped at the 47-yard line by Tracy Smith. Folks, understand one thing. Hampton is still not playing on 100% ankle.
In Athens, they talk about number 7 the way they used to talk about Herschel Walker. Watch this move. Hello. Goodbye. First down. Guy's a great player. He'll make a great pro. Six carries, excuse me. You want to do the 37 or should I?
You do.
All right, 37 yards.
Well, I said they needed a sizable margin, and they have it plus a bunch. Jones. Receivers covered, wants to scramble. The ooh from the crowd told the story better than we could say as he picks up one. Hockey season is underway. Hard to believe it is that time. Of course, basketball is not too far behind. Following the ball game, we'll update you. College football and also other scores in other sports going on around the country. And then we'll go to the Pac-10, Arizona State and UCLA. Jones, good protection, going to go long, and he has a man wide open. That's Marshall, incomplete at the 10. Preston Warren, who is called a very chancy player, but very smart by the secondary coach. You saw his mark there. An offensive holding has been called against Georgia. Preston Marshall had gone open. Arthur Marshall, I should say.
An illegal use of the hands by the offense on the play, 10-yard penalty, be second down again.
Jack Swan, number 76, left middle of your screen. You're reaching for a little nose there. Evidently you got it.
Ware on the running play out to the 40. It is going to be third down Georgia. And they need the 43-yard line of Tennessee. Casey Rogers, a reserve outside linebacker, makes the play defensively. Point I started to make a moment ago is Marshall. By the time that Jones looked up, was 10 yards behind the secondary, give or take a couple.
We'll see that again.
But he was so far down the field, that's a long toss for anybody.
He was wide open.
And then Preston Warren made the great defensive play. Jones steps up, far sideline, and this one will be over everybody's head. Sean Hummings, the intended receiver, had possibly a misread or a miscommunication in what route was to have been run.
Sean Hummings got out about 25 yards and then started to go to the post and then stopped. And the ball wasn't anywhere near him. It looked like he thought he was going to go to the sideline, but the defense was on the sideline. A cross-up, certainly a cross-up among receiver and quarterback.
Thomas Woods awaiting the punt of Joey Hester. Woods calls for the fair catch and makes it down at the 23-yard line. 37 yards in the kick. Tennessee on top by a touchdown.
I was feeling pretty good when I saw my boy Joe in that new Oldsmobile. I thought Joe had finally been to it some. But that new Cutlass Glade doesn't look like any Oldsmobile that Iowa had. It's got something called a high-output quad-4 engine. The next thing you know, Joe will be bringing home girls.
This is not your father's Oldsmobile. This is the new generation of Olds.
Now get up to a $1,600 cash bonus on a 1990 Cutlass Calais. See your Olds dealer today.
Life's full of simple pleasures, like the comfort of Levi's jeans. Or had you forgotten?
If you want to move ahead in any career, you have to know what most employers want. Like how to work with a team, how to handle responsibility, how to take on a tough job and see it through. You can learn all these things in the Army. So when you do set off on the road to success, you'll already be in the driver's seat.
Well, the student athlete of the game is brought to you by the U.S. Army. Get an edge on life. Be all you can be. And tonight's recipient is Tennessee quarterback Preston Warren. Preston is a political science major with a 3-point grade point average. Also a member of the All-SEC academic team. Chuck Webb to the left side, very close to the 30-yard line. Demetrius Douglas and Ben Smith combining in the stop for Georgia. New quarterback, Andy Kelly, a sophomore out of Dayton, Tennessee. 6'3", 200 pounds. Kevin, what happened to small quarterbacks?
Less flamboyant than Hinton, a little bit of a stronger arm, not as good a runner.
See the linebacker creeping up in the blitz, and this time Webb is going to be met at the line of scrimmage. Goldberg is the man at the bottom of the stack, and then a lot of help from a lot of friends.
Remember I talked about how this game, this is getting to be kind of an ugly game. Here has a blitz. Here comes Douglas, Kurt Douglas. He's down, but he takes up a blocker. And now they throw off the timing, and Webb can't get to the line of scrimmage. This is Georgia's type of football. They mix it up. They're very physical, and they're staying close.
What you're saying is that Tennessee needs to dictate tempo a little more then.
I think they should come right at him with that big offensive line.
Webb, right guard, and this time he gets met with a head-high tackle. That's a gain of only 1.5 yards. Demetrius Douglas steps up into the hole. And for Tennessee, they will have to give the football back to the Bulldogs.
We talked about the youth of the Georgia team. 44 players out of 68 here in Tennessee, sophomores or younger. If they were going to have an advantage, Tennessee with the home field, it would have been very early. Georgia doing a good job of negating it.
Elmore with his 3rd kick of the night as you look at Arthur Marshall. Hanging spiral, the nose now coming over, and no fair catch, and he is going to be annihilated. Oh my goodness, 41 yards in the kick and a loss of about 6 on the return. Darrell Hardy downfield. 4:35 left until halftime. Tennessee on top.
Everybody knows that everything goes. Right now at Norman Frady Chevrolet in Clear Lake, you can make your very best deal on any new 1989 Chevy or Geo in stock. Get up to $1,000 cash back or 2.9% financing from GMAC.
I've got over 50 S10 pickups in stock, all with factory air and priced as low as $74.95.
Norman Frady Chevrolet on Bay Area Boulevard at Clear Lake.
No, I knew nothing about diamonds. Billy and Connie are very, very good at telling you about the diamonds you're purchasing.
Quality of something. The diamond, you know their integrity is such that you know it's going to be honestly represented, and you're going to get what you, as Barbara said, more than you paid for.
Now that they've told you,
come let us show you. Come see us before you buy your next diamond.
Wedgwood Village Jewelers, in the heart of Friendswood.
It's a new generation and we want a new world.
Sequential port, fuel injection, anti-lock brakes.
Heydays come and we want a new world.
Visual information center, handles great.
This Oldsmobile is not our father's.
New generation for the sons and daughters.
Trofeo.
This is the new generation of Oldsmobile.
In 1980, a new big man on campus emerged in Athens, Georgia. His name, Herschel Walker. In his very first game, Walker showed Tennessee and the rest of the nation the brute force that would make him unstoppable. Herschel would amass 1,616 yards, lead Georgia to a 12-0 record and their one and only national championship. By the way, in that video, the guy that he was running over for Tennessee is now his teammate. In Dallas. Hampton going off the right side, good for a couple of yards. Bill Bates, of course, is who we're referring to, wore number 40 here for the Tennessee Volunteers. Some other scores. Auburn defeated a stubborn Kentucky today. That's one of the most unbelievable scores. Mississippi was up 21-0, and you saw the final. Florida LSU, first period. Mississippi State leading Northeast Louisiana in the second. Our score, Tennessee 10 and Georgia 3. Fake to Hampton. Jones back in the pocket, throws it back to Kirk Warner up the near sideline. They're going to put him out of bounds at the 37, and that is enough for the first down by 1, and then a marker comes in. Ford, our referee tonight, going over the options.
After the play was over, we had a dead ball, personal foul against the defense, 15 yards tacked on to the end of the run, and automatic first down.
Shazon Bradley, number 40. Look at this. Not only is he out of bounds, he's on the other side of that white stripe and into the Tennessee bench.
So the penalty pushes it across midfield. And Georgia with a first down at the Volunteer 48.
Field position passing team. Good time to take a shot here.
Jones throws it complete again. It's Warner on the near sideline at the 39-yard line. As Miley was out there, also Darrell Hardy, big number 87, the sophomore out of Cincinnati.
Tight end position for Georgia has always been an important position. Troy Sadowski was a great blocker and a pretty fine receiver. Warner and Broom, the two that share that position together, they're the second leading receiver on the team. They do not block as well as Sadowski, but they're both pretty good receivers.
Warner now has 3 catches for 15. They have spotted the ball just shy of the 41. Pitch back goes to Hampton, gets a block. Then the corner comes up with the force and also the strong safety, Tracy Smith, and that play will go for naught. In fact, it may lose one. That man right there told us yesterday in his office, he said it's going to be a dogfight, no pun intended, but he said, don't look at what happened last week or at their youth. We know what they will bring to the table. So Johnny Majors is not surprised by the tussle he's seen here at Neyland Stadium tonight. Tennessee creeping up with the linebackers, and the play is incomplete. That's Marion Hobby again, as Jones is buried under a sea of orange.
Too many people for this young offensive line to block. Hobby's going to be freed up because there's just too many people. See, number 90, nobody even gets a shot at him, and he just unloads on Preston Jones all of that weight, 269 pounds of it.
Joey Hester comes in to kick. Just over 3 minutes to play until halftime. Woods calls for the fair catch, and he will make it at the 10-yard line. Well, playing defense last year against the Bulldogs was not a happy memory. Cornerback Preston Warren talked to us about the Vols' plan for revenge.
I think we have a payback for a lot of teams because of last season, and this game, my teammates and I realized that it is payback and that they did run through us, and plus, as earlier in the week, they had a couple players who were running their mouths off saying that we played over our heads and this and that, and I think that's one thing that's going to get us fired up to go out there and play Saturday.
Preston Warren, the left corner for Tennessee, is the run that comes straight ahead. That's Greg Amsler. He is the number 2 fullback, a junior out of Chatham, New Jersey.
In that game last year, in fact, I did that game last year. It was a total mismatch. Georgia went up and down the field against a defense for Tennessee that was really confused, very young, and couldn't do the job. And they pounded them for over 400 yards. It's a different game tonight, but not a blowout. 10-3.
Andy Kelly continues to operate at fullback. That's Reggie Cobb, but he's going to be hit in the backfield, spun around and knocked down for a loss. Mo Lewis and also Douglas, Demetrius Douglas, stepping up to make the hit. Let me ask you a question. How much of a change in rhythm, if any, does it make bringing in a new quarterback in this situation for Tennessee?
Well, I think what it does is in field position, you don't bring in a new quarterback and throw from your 10-yard line. And if you're smart and you're playing defense, you're going to start looking for run. This Georgia team, I'm telling you, it's getting to be an ugly game, and that's the way the Bulldogs play. Bulldogs are ugly.
Pitch to Reggie Cobb. Gets one block, turns it up. He will have the first down all the way out to the 22-yard line. Ronald Poles is the man who flattened the Georgia defensive players, and then interstage left Reggie Cobb.
Well, Poles is 251 pounds. He's a fullback. Who we kidding? This guy is an offensive tackle. Here he comes to the corner. Nothing at the corner for Georgia. The ones that don't get blocked overrun it, and then you get Cobb into the secondary. But with time running out, that really helps Georgia. It works in their advantage.
Cobb again goes left side. You can see the little stagger step, and he started to cut back into the middle. Lost his footing. Robert Bell, the nose guard, will bring him down along with Goldberg. And a timeout has been called by Tennessee with just under 1 minute to play until halftime. So we're going to take a break. The Volunteers trying to get some points before halftime.
When rain comes into view, warm air surrounding you. Call me Rheem. The air of quality warms with efficiency.
Conquer the cold this winter with Rheem's 90+ gas furnace and a new limited lifetime heat exchanger warranty.
Call me Rheem. Warm air of quality. Call me Rheem.
Bo knows baseball. Bo knows football. Bo knows basketball too.
Bo knows tennis?
No. Bo knows weights.
Bo, you don't know diddly.
What if the NFL's legendary teams could battle to determine football's best ever? It's no longer a dream. It's the most unique and revolutionary concept in television sports history. NFL Dream Season. Sunday, Joe Namath tries to spoil Don Shula's perfect team. The 68 Jets face the 72 Dolphins on NFL Dream Season at 8:15 Eastern on ESPN.
To 3 our score with Tennessee on top. Don't forget, coming up at a halftime, it's the USF&G halftime report. Bob Carpenter standing by. He will have scores from around the country and highlights of today's big game. And of course, the American League Championship going on. Highlights of that, also hockey. Kelly on the throwback screen. It's Cobb. Looks for a block, cuts it back upfield and tackled at the 39. Chris Wilson. 12 yards in the play as Tennessee came back to the short side of the field.
That was a great call. You're going to get a timeout here. We have an injured player down.
Chris Wilson, who helped on the stop, and he really got convoyed.
It's a great call. Now, Georgia's defensive secondary is defending the field, the wide side. And what Kelly's going to do, he's going to go back to the short side with the hash mark. See the sideline there? And here's number 16. Hard to see what happened. Douglas falls on the back of his leg. Chris Wilson appears to have some kind of leg injury, but get him right up and get him off. He seems to be not too badly hurt.
In the pocket, pass is overthrown up at the 47-yard line as Andy Kelly zipped that one. So the second series that Andy Kelly has worked. And we need to make the point, I guess, that two good backup quarterbacks, that nobody is injured, but both coaches want to see their backup QBs get some work.
I think Kelly's in there because he may be a little bit better a passer than Henton. And Georgia has shut down the running game. Maybe they're trying to confuse the Georgia defense. Timeout, Georgia.
So the Bulldogs take a timeout. Kelly will come over and visit with Johnny Majors and also Philip Fulmer, the offensive coordinator. ESPN's College Football Saturday kicks off every week, 11:30 a.m. with College Game Day. Bob Carpenter, Bino Cook, Lee Corso for a preview of the day in college football. Then at 12:30, it's Ivy League action with Yale taking on Dartmouth. Then at 4 o'clock, we start a CFA doubleheader. And the teams for that game will be announced on Monday.
Then game 2 at 7 o'clock. Kevin and I will be up in Colorado Springs. The beautiful Rockies, #1 ranked Notre Dame will take on the 20th ranked Air Force Academy. And then at 10:30, we'll go out to the Pac-10 and we'll be announcing those teams on Monday also.
Two pretty good quarterbacks in that Notre Dame Air Force game. 2 undefeated teams, and D. Dowis, who I can't believe, they say we could carry him around in our pocket, Ron. He's that small.
What, 154 pounds, I think, isn't that right? You got big pockets.
He's a little guy. You could throw him into the 3rd row if you get a hold of him.
Chris Wilson is okay. He is back in the game for Georgia. Kelly looking long. Flings it for the 20, and it is intercepted by Ben Smith. Wilson was setting up to make the pickoff, and he took it away from him.
This is a punt. That's what it is. You had to make a decision. If you're going to go for it, you're not. I'll tell you, Johnny Major's not going to throw it over the middle in this situation. Give Georgia a field goal or a touchdown. So what you're looking at here is a touchdown or a punt or an interception. Ben Smith, great player here. Plays safety or corner for Georgia and is up for the Thorpe Award, along with Preston Warren of Tennessee. In fact, the SEC has Richard Fain of Florida, Lee Osmond of Alabama, and Todd Sandroni of Ole Miss, all nominated for the Thorpe Award. Pretty good defensive backs in this conference.
And you can see with the offensive formation that Georgia will just fall on the football and run the clock out unless the Volunteers use a timeout.
I'm telling you, this game is a typical Georgia game. They have never been flamboyant offensively. They're getting booed here. But Ray Goff, like Vince Dooley, he's going to go with the defense and the kicking game. As long as he's close here in Knoxville, he's going to keep it conservative.
So the clock runs down, and the 93,000 up and applauding. It is halftime with our score: Tennessee 10, Georgia 3. Now let's go to Bob Carpenter. Bob.
All right, Ron, thank you very much. So Tennessee, with a 9-game winning streak on the line, is on top of Georgia by a touchdown at the half. Welcome to the USF&G halftime report. Bino Cook, Lee Corso will join me in a moment, but let's talk about what's happening at the Astrodome in Houston. Andre Ware only playing 3/4 of the football game tonight, but totally destroying what was the #1 pass defense team in the nation. 59-10 fourth quarter. Ware 34 out of 53, 514 yards and 6 touchdowns in 3/4 of play. That's our first look at the top 25 this evening. A ball game out in Oregon. Number 21 Washington State has that big block punt and a 20-6 lead at the half. Florida and LSU down south tonight. The Gators have an early field goal. Florida is #2 in the nation in pass defense, maybe #1 after tonight. Tom Hodson needs 3 touchdown passes to eclipse the SEC career record. And Rice and Texas dueling tonight, just underway. Rice is 1-2-1, Texas 1-2 as they battle scoreless in the first quarter, just underway. More highlights and scores coming up in a moment on our USF&G halftime report. We'll shift gears in a minute. Take a look at some playoff baseball action next.
Owning a home or a brand new car can be a dream come true. And USF&G can help to protect and cover you. From the mountain's ledge to the ocean's edge, we insure you every day. We protect what America's made of. We cover the USA.
You think Bo Jackson's the only guy who can do this stuff?
You're looking sharp, you're looking good. You've come so far, and we know how to make the most of who you are. Father to son, it's what we've always done. Gillette.
The Gillette Actra Plus system and Gillette Foamy Shave Cream, together the best a man can get.
Tonight's halftime report is brought to you by US F&G Asset Management, a network to better manage money, people, property, and equipment.
Welcome back to a college football Saturday, week 6, and the #1 team of the nation out on the West Coast today. Notre Dame playing out at Stanford. The Cardinal upset Oregon at home a couple of weeks ago, so they can be tough in Palo Alto. Today, no exception. Notre Dame out west, and the Clowns were out. Tony Rice, not one of them, though, down 6-0 on a couple of Stanford field goals, and he will rip off this 38-yard run. All the way down, it'll set up a touchdown as Stanford would stare in the face of a 7-6 Notre Dame lead. Lou Holtz looking concerned at 14-6, and Steve Jones hits Ed McCaffrey for the 2-yard touchdown, and Stanford makes the 2-pointer, tied at 14. Notre Dame comes right back. Anthony Johnson over for the one, his second of the day, 21-14 at that point, and Notre Dame stays unbeaten, winning at Stanford 27-17. #2 Miami romping at home over Cincinnati 56-0. Leonard Conley an early touchdown run. Wesley Carroll won through the air. Hurricanes ruling. #3 Colorado at home over Missouri 49-3. The Tigers having trouble scoring. Darian Hagan 106 yards and 3 touchdowns today. #4 Nebraska, no problem at all with K-State. The bubble bursting for the Wildcats after that one win. 58-7 losers today. #5 Michigan led 7-0 at the half. The Badgers couldn't get on the board though and lost to 24-0 in Ann Arbor. #8 Pitt, no trouble at all with Temple. Good defense and offense. 27-3 they win it today. #9 West Virginia at home today to take on the Hokies of Virginia Tech, who had last week off. Don Nehlen concerned that they would be prepared. Mickey Thomas was, with a 42-yarder and a 22-yard field goal for a 6-0 Tech lead. But Major Harris, as usual, bringing the Mountaineers back. He will look, he will scramble. He'll look some more and scramble some more. Finally, coming to a dead stop, and flat-footed hits Charlie Fedorko. 10-9, West Virginia the lead in the third. But Thomas came on with under 4 minutes left, up and good, and the Hokies with the upset of the day, coming from behind to win it in a very difficult place to win, 12-10 today. Washington and #9 Southern Cal, who came into the game, the Trojans did, tied at #1 in the AP Top 25 with Southern Cal, or rather with West Virginia. LA is the site. Second half, Huskies lead 10-7. Todd Marinovich to John Jackson at the 9. Career catch number 124 for Jackson, a new USC record. 2 plays later, Marinovich will roll in from the 2, and the Trojans are on top 14-10. Then to the 4th, 17-10 USC on top. Gary Conklin guns it to Andre Riley. He slips 2 tacklers, and see you later. It's back to 17-16. The Huskies go for 2 and the lead, but Conklin's pass to Mario Bailey, incomplete. Southern Cal gets a late score and hangs on to win 24-16 at home. #11 Auburn winning at Kentucky 24-12 today. Reggie Slack had a couple of touchdown passes. #13 Alabama at Oxford against the Rebels of Ole Miss, who upset them on homecoming at home a year ago. And this would be a wild one. Alabama stunned, down 21-0. But senior Gary Hollingsworth went to work. His second start, he hits Kevin Turner for 26 yards. Then Marco Battle is the receiver for a 16-yarder, and it's 21-14. Hollingsworth again, this time Craig Sanderson for 35 yards. And it'll tie the game at 21. And yes, it's still the second quarter. Hollingsworth to Marco Battle again. Bama 48 points after that 21-point deficit, and they had 48 at the half. Unbelievable day for the Crimson Tide offensively. 62-27, they win it at Ole Miss. Middle Tennessee State and NC State. Wolfpack still unbeaten, romping at home 35-14. Virginia gave Clemson a battle today, but the Tigers prevailed, getting a win this week 34-20. A game of teams on probation, the Bedlam Series in Oklahoma. Mike Gaddis 274 yards on the ground as Gary Gibbs Sooners beat Pat Jones Cowboys. Number 22, Florida State winning big. A real shocker this margin is at Syracuse 41-10. Peter Tom Willis had a big day. So did the special teams for Bobby Bowden. Ohio State at Illinois. The turf not a problem today. Illinois warmed it up, beating Ohio State by 20. Number 19, Texas A&M losing on a late touchdown pass by Tech. 27-24. Big win for the Red Raiders. Number 20, Air Force with D. Dowis a couple of touchdown passes, winning big at Navy 35-7. Number 24, Michigan State, a breather. It wasn't number 1 or number 2, but they won by a field goal at Iowa 17-14. And just underway, the Arkansas Razorbacks at TCU. Arkansas has won 28 of the last 30 in this series. They'll be getting underway in just a couple of moments. And number 25, UCLA at 10:30 Eastern Time tonight to host the Sun Devils of Arizona State. You'll see it on ESPN. Coming up in a moment, we'll continue a college football Saturday with American League Championship Series baseball action. We'll also preview the Cubs and the Giants. Meanwhile, Tennessee up by a touchdown.
Men, we've got to clear out this warehouse for incoming shipment. Any item with a red dot or a blue dot is out of here. Now let's move out. Magnavox TV, silver, gold, Polinet. Out of here. Cut the price. I love the smell of a red dot, blue dot special. It smells like a bargain.
We're new in town and we're dealing. I'm Morris Moore with Morris Moore Chrysler, Dodge, Plymouth, and Galveston. We carry a full line of Chrysler products from the luxurious New Yorker to the inexpensive, gas-saving Dodge Colt with prices starting as low as $59.98 on this brand new Colt. So come see us at Morris Moore Chrysler, Dodge, Plymouth, 7700 Broadway, Galveston Island, where you'll always get a more, better deal.
4. It made a sharp beginning. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, it's much richer.
So you're going to say trust me on
No.
Because, see, I think that she gets...
4 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. She wants contact.
Right.
As much as she feels, I mean, she feels she can, you know, it's that kind of thing. If she feels too much, you don't even have to be available. She can reach and have nothing there.
Robert Neyland came to Tennessee in 1925 to teach military science and agreed to help coach the football team. He stressed mental preparation and soon became recognized as the top defensive strategist of modern football. In 1939, Neyland's Tennessee team did not allow a point in 10 regular season games, the only time in the past 50 years that a team's goal line has never been crossed during a season. This is Tim Brando, recalling the great traditions of college football.
Welcome back to the USF&G Halftime Report. We'll shift to baseball now. Game 4 of the American League Championship Series in Toronto's Skydome today. And as Chris Myers reports, the long ball, and I mean long, would play a big part in this game.
It may be the longest home run ever hit in Canada. Jose Canseco dialed 900 with a Mike Flanagan pitch and put the ball in another area code. It finally stopped in the 5th level, the first homer ever hit to the sky deck of the Skydome, believed to be about 500 feet.
It's worth measuring. I hope somebody goes up there and drop a tape down because I'd like to know just how far that one went. It's got to be better than 600. It went halfway up the last tier. I'm got it thinking 625, 650.
624, he was wrong by a foot.
I didn't think it was going to carry that far, but it did. And then I asked him when he went in the dugout, I don't think you hit that good. He said, you're right, I didn't. So he didn't hit it square, he hit it high and far. But I hate to see what happened if he did hit it square, high and far.
Until last night's single, Canseco hadn't had a postseason hit since his grand slam in Game 1 of last year's World Series. He didn't start Game 2 of the playoffs because of a migraine. Saturday, both he and Ricky Henderson gave Toronto the
way the guy would tell me, laying about halfway up there in the 5th deck, I think that's
as a monster shot.
He hit one that it was unreal, man. It was, I would love to see how far the ball would win if nothing was in the way. You know, it was a long ball. You know, it was amazed me. I went and fell out on the bench.
On this day, Henderson didn't steal bases, he circled them. Ricky hit a pair of 2-run homers, strutting his stuff as the A's built a 5-1 lead in the 5th and bounced Flanagan. Henderson has a 60% on-base percentage for the series with 7 stolen bases, 7 runs scored, and the 2 home runs.
What do you enjoy more, beating him with your speed or your power?
Beating with my speed. That's me.
Why is that?
Because I'm not a really big home run hitter. If I was Jose, he'd probably say I love beating with a big home run. Before it's me, I love beating with my speed.
The A's winning run crossed the plate in the 7th inning. Jose Canseco, with a good bit of hitting, drove that run in with a single. But that's already been forgotten about. What everybody's still talking about is that skydeck home run that he hit. That ball went where no ball has ever gone before. Jose left his mark on the Sky Dome and just may have launched the A's back on their way to the World Series. From Toronto, Chris Myers, ESPN.
All right, Chris, 6-5 today. It'll be Stewart and Stieb in Game 5 tomorrow. The A's are a win away from the World Series. And the Cubs at San Francisco in the National League Championship Series with Rick Sutcliffe against Mike LaCosse have a good start. Andre Dawson moments ago a 2-run single. Cubs on top 2-zip in the first inning of play. That series is tied at a game apiece. More of the top 25 in college football when we return on a College Football Saturday.
America was built on dreams, and business is the key. We ensure where America works, we're USF&G. From the mountain's ledge to the ocean's edge, we ensure you every day. We protect what America's made of. We cover the USA.
My GT, my Charger radios, and Pine Ridge Road.
Kelly Charger Performance Radials. Why pay more to own the road? My Turbo, my Charger Radials, and Canyon Drive. Kelly Charger Performance Radials. Why pay more to own the road?
You have good students, you get interested in their study. It's fun. I've learned much more from my students than they've ever learned from me.
I think that it's my responsibility as a professor to stretch students, to stretch their ability to think critically, to stretch their ability to question.
I don't really care if they remember the facts or the dates or this or that. I want them to go out thinking, you raised a point, I need to think about that.
It's kind of tough, but I'm making it.
All right, time to quickly update you on scores from around the nation. Rutgers upset Penn State last year and no go this time. Nittany Lions on the road, a shutout, 17-0. Indiana big with Anthony Thompson, 33 carries, 178 yards, easily over Northwestern at home. Purdue not looking very good on the road. The Gophers reign there by 20. San Jose State and Cal, the Bears, 26-21 there. Iowa State a 24-20 winner at Kansas in the Big 8 today. Northeast Louisiana and Mississippi State, and the Bulldogs at the half by 18. Vanderbilt and Memphis State just underway down south. Wake Forest and North Carolina in the ACC today, and Wake Forest comes away with a 17-16 win. Maryland and Georgia Tech. Bobby Ross with that first ACC win ever over the Terrapins, 28-24. Duke handles Army 35-29. Clarkston Hines had 3 touchdown catches in that game. East Carolina and the Gamecocks. South Carolina came back strong to win it 47-14. Southern Miss and Tulane are tied 6-6 first quarter there. Wyoming and BYU and the Cougars big at home 36-20. Louisiana Tech and Akron zips winning at home 31-24. Tulsa a 21-13 loser at Southwest Louisiana. To the Ivy League, where Yale came into the day, the top dog in that league. Penn wins at Columbia 24-21, a game on ESPN earlier. Princeton a 38-15 winner at Brown. Cornell at home 24-23 over Lafayette. And Yale the first place club over Colgate 36-15. Holy Cross a big winner at Dartmouth 33-7. Lehigh over Harvard 50-28 today, and Bucknell in a squeaker over Towson State 14-13. Fordham and Davidson as we go to the Yankee Conference. We're coming into the day. It was Maine the top dog there. Fordham winning by 2 at Davidson today. New Hampshire over Northeastern by a field goal. It was Boston U easily winning at Richmond 35-0, and Maine in first place. The Black Bears 56-0 winners today. William and Mary at home by a field goal over Delaware. Rhode Island losing big at UMass 31-6. It was Villanova by 6 at home in OT over Connecticut. We'll take a break now and come back with more. Some thoughts from Lee Corso and Bino Cook when we return, as we're almost ready to go back to Knoxville for the second half.
Holiday Olds Nissan Jeep Eagle in Galveston kicks off the '89 football season with their NFL First-Time Buyers Plan special. First-time buyers need no credit and pay no money down. Nissan Sentra, the #1 car in its class. The fabulous Olds 98 Regency Brougham, fully equipped. A new '89 Cutlass Supreme. The 4x4 of the year, the Jeep Cherokee. So kick off the '89 season with a new car from Holiday Olds Nissan Jeep Eagle. 25th and Church in downtown Galveston, just off Broadway.
I shop at Wedgwood Village Jewelers because it's a small town, family type atmosphere, and Billy and Connie make me feel very comfortable and relaxed, and I feel like they're honest and open. And I didn't know too much about diamonds when I purchased it from them, but they explained everything to me about color and clarity and things I really didn't understand.
Now that she's told you, come let us show you Wedgwood Village Jewelers in the heart of Friends.
It's great. All things that can be great begin with a sound foundation. The 10 universities of the Southeastern Conference have been, are, and will continue to be committed to academic excellence, providing a sound foundation to what is great and what can be great. The Southeastern Conference, the foundation.
One airline works harder than any other to make sure that a good landing not only means getting you there on time, but landing your bag in your hand on time as well. United. Come fly the friendly skies.
Welcome back for our USF&G halftime wrap-up. And Lee Corso, Andre Ware, what a big day today. He only played 3 quarters at the Astrodome.
I got a suggestion. The Detroit Lions, Mouse Davis in the silver stretch ought to give Rodney Peete to Houston, take Andre Ware, put him in a uniform, and put him in the NFL. He can play.
All right, Bino.
Unbelievable. It's the college football story of the year is Houston. In Houston, the Oilers are the second-best team.
Folks, it's getting scary. Even Bino's starting to agree with Lee that Andre Ware is the front runner for the Heisman Trophy. That'll do it for halftime. Back to Knoxville. Ron Franklin and Kevin Kiley.
Thank you. Direct Jerry Glanville's phone call to Bino. Hey, off the top of the telecast, we talked about the 2 veteran broadcasters, the radio broadcasters for Georgia and Tennessee, John Ward and Larry Munson. We thought you'd like to hear the first touchdown that was scored in the ballgame tonight. This is John Ward's version first.
Terrence Cleveland goes wide to the left side. Tennessee has 2 tight ends in the game with Webb at tailback. Hinton pitches to Webb at the corner. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What did he do? He scored! Touchdown, Big Orange!
They're in an eye with 1 wide out. Toss sweep. Webb, a hole at the tackle. Touchdown, Webb. A hole at their left tackle. It was a huge hole, 8 or 9 feet across.
Well, you gotta love it. I'm a dinosaur. I know radio is fun, and those 2 guys are extremely good. This fella here, I'm not sure there's an excuse.
Speaking of dinosaurs, that was an Orangeosaurus there.
Georgia to kick it off to open the second half. Terrence Cleveland breaks it on the right side and is tackled at the 40-yard line by Casey, the kicker. And if John doesn't get him, it could have been bye-bye Cleveland. Well, the halftime stats, very, very close. As far as not only yardage, Tennessee picked up some of that yardage to lead by close to 50. First down, that's very big, and we'll elaborate on that in the second half as we continue. Greg Amsler takes it right up the middle.
A big part of the success of Tennessee in the first quarter, they ran for 101 yards in that first quarter, was an unbalanced line. To the left of Henton, the quarterback, you'll see Myslinski and McCray and Antone Davis. Now watch the center and 94 Bell, the middle guard, slip block there. They simply have them outnumbered defensively. The fullback, Poles, takes the linebacker, and off goes Reggie Cobb. Georgia's done a better job lately with that, though.
Reggie Cobb hurdles a man at the line of scrimmage up around the 45. It was Matt McCormick who took the legs out from under him.
Georgia has made an adjustment. Now, basically, you're looking at the same thing. Unbalanced. Your nose guard is a little more centered up. He needs to be double-teamed. Poles, they force Poles, the fullback, right away. No room to go. Cobb has to jump over that block. And the Georgia defense, young but very quick, reacts. Now, this has been the story, is the adjustment Georgia has made.
Third down, and they need the 50. Henton. And the pass is knocked back at his face, and then he knocks it down. Mo Lewis, number 57, came across and got a hand on the football. Wow. Georgia may be playing away from home, but they are really playing with some enthusiasm right now. Ken Elmore in to kick for the Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee scored 2 of the first 3 times they had their hands on the football tonight. Wobbly spiral. Marshall tries to signal for the fair catch, and it gets by him. Inside the 10 and down at the 4. 51 yards in the kick, and it's Daryl Hardy who touches it down. First half possessions. Let's take a look at the chart. You see the first several times they had their hands on the football. 3 plays, 2 plays, 3, and then 11. They wound up with the field goal. So the Bulldogs backed up with the backs in their own end zone. Hampton stumbles, still has 5 yards and maybe more. And as he comes out close to the 12, and it's Daryl Hardy there on the stop. Now, I mentioned Daryl Hardy making the tackle here. He also was downfield to touch the punt dead a moment ago. Tennessee uses a lot of first-teamers on their special teams. A little unusual.
Johnny Majors comes from the old school. Kicking and defense will win for you. His kicking is maybe kicking first. He uses his first-team players on the kicking team.
Inside handoff. Oh, what a hit, and Cleveland got the ball. And you could see Warner, the tight end, coming from the slot right, and they were going to use him for the block as they tried to go off tackle, and it did not deter Tennessee or Mark Moore or Martin Williams.
Martin Williams is a horse. That guy is 5'11". How many defensive linemen do you see that's 5'11"? A junior college player, 270 pounds.
Kind of hard to get underneath him.
Good middle guard type.
Hampton up the middle, first down, and a whole lot more. Still on his feet. He will be stopped across the 30 at the 33. And Kevin, it looks like Hampton has re-injured that ankle.
What a blow to Georgia. Here's the blocking. DeFore will come out, number 67, take care of the middle linebacker. They buried the middle guard with a double team, and there's number 7. Watch number 66. See him get lifted up and knocked out. DeFore takes care of Bradley, and look at Hampton. Look at all the steps. Now let's see where the ankle goes. Somewhere in there went Hampton's ankle, and they also lost an offensive lineman, Hayes Sadler, being helped off the field also, number 78.
He had a concussion in last week's ball game and had to come out of the game.
They're very, very lean on the offensive line. Young and no depth, and that really hurts. All right, number 7, watch the knee on the ground as it hits the ground. There it is. Now, we don't know whether it's the knee. The knee is padded or someone had the ankle and twisted it. We'll let you know as soon as we find out.
Ware comes left side. He'll be stopped after a couple. Ernest Fields The outside linebacker on that side steps up to plug the hole.
The way this game began, Tennessee on their first drive, driving downfield and scoring, it looked as though they would run over Georgia. That has not happened. The momentum is clearly in Georgia's favor and the way the game is going.
You see number 7, Rodney Hampton. Undoubtedly, he just stunned that ankle a bit. He is back in the lineup. They fake the reverse, going long, and it is caught by Hummings at the 33-yard line of Tennessee. Jason Julian with a great cover, and he still caught it.
It's a fake reverse. It's going to gain enough time, not a whole lot of time, but enough time for Talley to really underthrow this ball. Fool right there, but watch. He knows he's going to get blasted. Now this ball, it's a jump ball in the middle of the field. Hummings will catch it. Preston Warren misjudges it, number 21, and Hummings grabs it. Big play for Georgia.
10-3, Tennessee leads, Georgia driving. Talley will hold on. He will go for a couple. It's Martin Williams who grabbed a hole. Mark Moore shaken up in the play just a bit. Number 74 limped away from the pile, but he's okay, it appears.
Offensive coordinator George Hafner of Georgia. They like to throw 25, 30 times a game without Vince Dooley, which is a big change, and they're doing it in this game.
Hampton tries to get outside Marion Hobby. How many big plays have Hobby and Hayworth made tonight? Let's throw it back to Bob Carpenter for still another update.
All right, Ron, this one from the SEC. Florida at LSU, and Tom Hodson to Eddie Fuller. It'll cover 42 yards, and now Hodson needs 2 touchdown passes to break the SEC record. Down in Baton Rouge, it's also 10-3.
It appears that Mike Archer and his LSU Tigers are getting it on track again. Talley looks at a blitz, pass is thrown incomplete. Arthur Marshall, the intended receiver, but it was the pressure up front as Hayworth, number 88, along with a number of other orange jersey Tennessee Volunteers, forced him to throw too quickly.
Hayworth is a player they moved to a down lineman position when they changed from a 3-4 to a 4-3 to better utilize his abilities. He was a stand-up player. It's really helped him.
Hester standing back at his 49. Thomas Woods in a single safety for the Vols. Aims for the far sideline with the pooch kick, and he will nail it at the 10-yard line. 24 yards in the kick, but the Volunteers are going to scrimmage deep in their own territory.
Talk to me, CJ. What are you really feeling?
It's very sweet.
This is what sets every Mazda apart. It's called Conseil Engineering. Engineering based on human feelings.
Keep an eye on his pulse, please.
With it, Mazda can actually learn how to create cars that feel just right. Because to us, feeling right is what driving is really all about. Mazda.
It just feels right.
She's all ours.
Going into business, got something new. Gonna paint the town, red, white, and blue. I'm coming through this.
Nice place. How about some customers?
Ladies' night.
Great place, guys. Who did your decorating?
A while back, John Barricato went car shopping.
I'll take a couple of these, 3
He
of those.
bought 10.
Any particular color, sir?
Nah. Then he did something really unusual.
Ready? Ready!
You see, John leads the arson team at Aetna, the company leading the fight against one of America's most expensive crimes. And if we can learn something, we don't mind burning a little cash today.
This is what you look for.
To save customers a bundle down the road.
We're gonna need more cars.
ESPN's College Football Saturday, Georgia versus Tennessee, is brought to you by Mazda Cars and Trucks. Mazda, it just feels right. And by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. Ron Franklin and Kevin Kiley in Knoxville in the bonfire last night. It is homecoming. Right now, the Volunteers with a 7-point lead. Cobb has 5, has 8, and an umpire as a marker is down at the line of scrimmage.
Procedure on Tennessee, they jumped. This is what Tennessee needs to do. They need to strap it up, use that line, and push.
Before the ball was snapped, an offensive lineman had a false start. The ball was never in play. We got first down again.
Al Ford, the referee. Ray Goff said this morning that as a player or as an assistant coach, he had never been anybody's homecoming. He was going to try to use that with his ball club tonight.
He may never get invited again after this.
Straight ahead goes the fullback, and it is Roland Poles taking it straight ahead for about 3 as Kirk Douglas, one of the inside backers, steps up into the hole to make the tackle. That'll be second down Tennessee, and they'll look at about 12 yards.
You saw Ray Goff. You see him clapping his hands, yelling to his kids. And these are kids. They're a very young team. They play with enthusiasm. He said that's the best thing about this team. They play together and they play hard, and they've done that tonight.
Hampton on the roll. Delivers the pass incomplete. Oh, had him open. Terrence Cleveland up at the 27. George Wynn was trying to cover on the play, but he let it get away from him.
Question mark about this team as you look. 1 for 6, 9 yards. They have the receivers, but they haven't had to throw, and there's been a question. If they need to throw, can they execute? So far tonight, Tennessee has not executed the passing game.
We asked Johnny Majors about that yesterday, if he didn't think he'd start seeing 8 people at the line of scrimmage if they didn't start throwing better. He said yes. Hampton will go down at the 5. Kirk Douglas.
But Morris Lewis did the job. Number 57 is the man that made the play, as he did on the last play. Tremendous job. You can't ask more from an outside linebacker. Right side of your screen. Play action, he never goes for it. Look at Morris Lewis playing off Myslinski. He holds up Henton. Douglas can come in and help with the tackle. Great linebacker play.
Elmore standing less than his usual 15 yards in the checkerboard end zone here at Tennessee, and he booms a beauty. Marshall all the way back to the 40. Georgia with the return, and the marker comes down as he's tackled at the 50-yard line. 52 yards in the kick, 7 on the return, and let's check out the marker on the other side. You can see the exuberance by Tennessee there as Elmore is signaling that this penalty is going to be against the Dogs.
On the return, we had holding by the return team, 10 yards from the spot, the first down and 10 from there.
10-3, Tennessee leads. We'll be right back.
Now that you know what it feels like to move in the MX-6 Sports Coupe, come sit in the saddle. The MX-6 from Mazda.
It just feels right.
Once, there were a few proud men, men of adventure, men of courage, men who knew the meaning of honor. There still are, the Marines. We're looking for a few good men.
The University of Georgia. Its 13 schools and colleges offer undergraduate degrees in more than 140 major fields, 25 master's degrees, doctoral degrees in 80 areas, and a broad spectrum of programs that literally span the globe. A university that sets the pace for educational excellence. A university the Carnegie Report places among the nation's very best.
Our score, Ron Franklin, Kevin Kiley, Knoxville, Tennessee. Just over 7 minutes to play, third period. Play action to Hampton. Marker is down. They throw to the tight end, Chris Broom, and he is bumped out of bounds close to 10 yards downfield. Kelly Days and Casey Rogers defensively, but it's going to be procedure against the Bulldogs.
Georgia's the type of team, as you look at Ray Goff, cannot make a mistake.
Mack was moving in the backfield before the snap. Replay first down.
See, the advantage for Georgia there was throwing on first down. That's a surprise when Georgia does it. It gives them the advantage. For them to make a mistake on first down and go first and 15 is devastating to them.
All the scores coming up immediately following the ball game. If you're interested in the league championship series, Giants on top of the Cubs right now. On the pitch, behind a block, will take it across the 35 before Daryl Hardy grabs him. They will spot him down at around the 38.
Patched up offensive line for Georgia, doing a terrific job. Number 72 is Coley. He gets a hook block. Look how fast Hampton squares up. Gets inside of Hayworth there.
Will Coley, he is a junior out of Abingdon, Virginia. Talley with a deep drop over the middle, has it complete to Hummings at the 40, the 35, and he's tackled at the 32 by Preston Warren. 32 yards of the pass play.
Okay, what's the difference between Georgia under Vince Dooley and under that man Ray Goff? 13 attempts in the first half, unheard of for Georgia in a close game. Here in the second half, throwing as well, and Talley right on the mark inside the zone, primarily a zone team, Tennessee, and Talley and Hummings finding the holes.
Hampton reverses down inside the 25 to the 24. The play was designed for right guard and right tackle, and the quick stutter step just before he reached the line of scrimmage, and it got him an extra 5 yards.
Good point, Ron. He doesn't take big steps until he gets into the secondary, but what a job by this offensive line. Guys like Will Coley right there, and Sadler, who's back in the game. Concussion last week, was helped off the field. Patched up, hurt, young, doing a job.
Hampton, right side, inside the 20. Good heavens, he puts the head down, and he has a Georgia first down. Daryl Hardy puts the wrap on him.
This is a team that's giving up 88 yards a game rushing. The defense of Tennessee. Look at the right side of this line. Now that's some horses there. Look at Ellis and Mull. Ellis, the fullback, Mull, the tackle. Just doing a great job. And then Hampton is a horse at 215 too.
And he also was injured again. That was him on the sideline. Ware, his replacement. Stutter step, and to the outside on the right is down to the 15-yard line. Marion Hobby, the senior out of Irondale, Alabama, steps up to make the stopper on him. Some other scores going on around the country. Arkansas, number 7 ranked, by 3 over TCU. That one's early. Washington State by 11 over Oregon in the 3rd. Mississippi State leading their game in the third. And Vanderbilt trails Memphis State. That one's early. Talley under pressure, and he is sacked. Tracy Hayward and Marion Hobby.
Marion Hobby was recruited to Tennessee with a Reggie White of the Philadelphia Eagles, who used to be here at Tennessee, a Reggie White highlight film. They showed it to Marion and they said, would you like to be like that? Marion said, where do I sign? And here he is at Tennessee, and he's just like that.
Leading the cheers. It is third down, Georgia. They need the 8. Talley drills the pass, complete at the 10 to Warner. That will not be enough for the Georgia first down.
And here's where you'll find out the difference between Ray Goff and Vince Dooley.
Is he going to go for it? Nope, he's going to call a timeout. So the Georgia Bulldogs with a 4th down and 2 want to talk it over. They trail by 7.
Fang always complains that I'm too extravagant. Not true, Fang. Now I find fabulous bargains every day on TV's Home Shopping Club. Great merchandise at great prices. Ooh.
Take $5 off a Home Shopping Club purchase by saying code number 111111 when you place an order.
Take it from me. Every buy's a bargain. Tune in Home Shopping Club now.
Hurry. Offer expires September 30th.
Power, performance, economy, and sexy. And you can have it all this month at Charlie Thomas Isuzu. Yes, at Charlie Thomas Isuzu, you can save big.
And you can win big too. Charlie Thomas Isuzu is giving away a trip to Cancun. Yes, Cancun. All you have to do is test drive an Isuzu of your choice to register, and you can save big. All lines of Isuzus are drastically reduced this month.
We work hard for you, and we're here to prove it.
In a world of distractions and unexpected turns, a car should be like a friend you don't have to talk to. The Mazda 626 is actually engineered to feel just that way, resulting in an uncanny ability to make you feel in control. At the same time, it makes you feel relaxed. The 626 from Mazda.
It just feels right.
Ray Goff has decided to go for the field goal attempt. Trailing by 7 with just over 4 to play, which means John Casey, 9 of 10 on the season. This will be a 27-yard attempt. He is perfect. So the Georgia Bulldogs come away with 3, and for the gentlemen in orange, they still have not allowed anyone in the end zone tonight. We're in Georgia red. It is 10-6. This is Ray's reaction just a moment ago in the 27-yarder.
Quarterback for Vince Dooley, 9 years an assistant under Vince Dooley. A little bit rubbed off, I think. Not much of a gamble there, but I think a good call. Go for the field goal. You had to score again anyway to win. You might as well get it. With Casey, it's almost a sure thing. Puts a lot of pressure on the Tennessee team to either score or play defense.
We talked about off the top of the telecast the following of legends, which he had to do. Here are some others. Hunk Anderson following Knute Rockne at Notre Dame.
That was a no-win proposition, huh?
Earl Royal and Fred Akers at Texas.
I don't think people realize he won over 70% of his games in 2 Southwest Conference championships. And here's a guy, John Robinson, Ron, that did as well as John McKay. Great job.
And, of course, Ray Perkins following the great Bear Bryant at Alabama. Kick comes down to Terrence Cleveland. Almost broke the last one. This time he'll be stopped at the 25. And let's go to Bob Carpenter for another score.
All right, Ron, now we take you out west, Washington State at Oregon. From 36 yards out, Aaron Garcia to Calvin Griggs. Great catch. a 36-yard touchdown, and the Cougars by 11 in the third.
Our score 10-6. 4:03 to play, third period. Webb to the 35 and close to a Tennessee first down as Cowens grabs him. And I think that's what we'll see from Tennessee on this drive.
The key to the game, if you look at Johnny Major's new wardrobe there, the key to the game was Tennessee's running game. It worked early in the first quarter. They've gotten away from it. Georgia has stuffed it. They need to just strap them up and head north and south.
Straight ahead with the fullback. This is Amsler. And he will have the first down out at the 37. Goldberg there on the bottom of the stack for Georgia. Well, this is a tandem that's been averaging over 200 yards a game, and this right now 138 yards between the two.
Look at Webb, over 7 yards a carry.
See the middle backer coming on the blitz, and he gets to the outside and is barely tripped up. He had a lot more yardage. Ben Smith got a hand on him. Chuck Webb, only a redshirt freshman out of Toledo, Ohio.
When you have a guy like Ben Smith in the secondary, you can afford to take chances, and they did. They blitz off the weak side, but look at the recognition here by Webb. And Smith, so quick and strong enough to get an arm on him and bring him down, and still he gains 6 yards. Chuck Webb.
Illegal procedure, Eric Still, the right guard, the senior out of Germantown, came up out of his stance before the ball was snapped. So it'll cost the Volunteers 5 yards. Eric is exemplary of the 5 guys that play up there and start. You almost got to have a 3+ average to play in this offensive line. He's an academic All-American, 3 years SEC All-Academic.
They're all like that. And these guys get together on weekends, they could build an atomic bomb.
Right now they want to build a drive. Screen pass, Amsler still going across the 45, and on a great second effort is within 1 yard of the first down for Tennessee. Chris Wilson was the man underneath, and Amsler just kept pushing away.
Watch number 95, Bill Goldberg, finest maybe in the Southeast Conference. Look at this. Looks like Foreman Cooney, and then he heads downfield and gets there in time to put a tattoo on Amsler. Now that's hustle, and that's what Georgia's defense does. They'll hit you, and then they're going to run to the ball. Bill Goldberg, fine player.
Tennessee needs one. With the power set, right up the middle is Poles. Why not? 251-pound fullback, and it's first down Tennessee.
Myslinski, Fisher, Still, Davis, McCray. That's a lot of meat, and there they go, and a lot of orange. And Poles is 251 pounds, and he's 30 pounds light to play on the offensive line. Excuse me, this is what they need to do, Ron. This is exactly what they need to do with all that weight and power.
Georgia has taken this Tennessee crowd out of the ballgame the last 2 quarters. That is not the case right here, as they go with Cobb right up the middle for a couple. But you can see the pom-poms going away and some folks on their feet. They haven't seen that for a couple of quarters, or a quarter and a half anyway.
Defensive coordinator for Georgia is Richard Bell, and he felt with his young people and the weight disadvantage that he couldn't line up and play straight defense, that he had to move around, and they have moved around and blitzed selectively the entire game. Has made some problems for the offensive blocking schemes of Tennessee, but Tennessee now is going shoulder to shoulder and blowing out whoever shows up. That's their strength.
Sterling Henton gets to the line of scrimmage and then comes out signaling timeout. 32 ticks left on the clock in this third period. Don't forget, immediately following this game, College Football Scoreboard, Bob Carpenter standing by with Bino Cook and Lee Corso. They'll bring you up to date on what has happened in this weekend one in the month of October. And then at 10:30, it's out to the Pac-10. Arizona State will take on UCLA. Well, we got the timeouts of other scores. Houston winning by 56 over the Baylor Bears. Andre Ware with another huge ball game.
Baylor had the leading pass defense in the country going in that game.
LSU at halftime by 7. Tulane in Southern Mississippi. And Rice leading Texas in the second period by 2 touchdowns.
Boy, that is not good for Texas. They lost to Penn State last week. They did not roll over SMU. David McWilliams and the guys down there. To lose to Rice would not be a happy moment in Austin.
Ron Franklin and Kevin Kiley, Knoxville, Tennessee. And there you see the numbers. We have got a great one going on here. Typical of the Southeastern Conference. Option play and Hetton to the 45. Demetrius Douglas will knock him down, and it's got to be 3rd down Tennessee, and the Vols need to 40. And now a late marker downfield for some extracurricular stuff. The 15 yards.
Well, who's it against?
It is against Georgia. 15
I know
yards stepped off.
Well, what's the call there? I know it's against.
Personal foul was the call that was made.
Well, I mean, who? But I didn't see anybody. I didn't see anything there.
Handoff goes to Cobb. Left side for about 3. Demetrius Douglas again.
To me, in a game as physical, as close as this, to make a call like that without a clear-cut villain, that's very disturbing to me.
Well, they got time to talk about it because that is the end of the 3rd period. Tennessee by 4.
Road Handler Treadlocks. Test them for 1,000 miles. If you don't agree they're the toughest tires you've ever owned, Sears will buy them back. Great low prices every day. Road Handler Tough. That's your money's worth and a whole lot more.
There is a point at which all things must evolve. For small cars, that point is here. Introducing the Mazda Protege, a small car that's expansive in room, powerful, and born of Kansei engineering, so the way it feels will change the way you feel about small cars. The new Protege from Mazda.
It just feels right.
Coming up over easy. New day's coming on good and slow. Me, I'm warming to a hot McMuffin morning. Look out, and basting in the golden glow of a great day. Hey, wait, yeah. A hot McMuffin hunger for just one taste.
The one and only taste of an Egg McMuffin.
It's gonna be a hot McMuffin morning at McDonald's. How you doing?
Your life is changing, and State Farm is there.
I'm State Farm agent Jim McConnell. Terry Saylor's life insurance started out pretty simple. Then there were 3 children, 2 new mortgages, a big job promotion for Terry, and for Mrs. Saylor, a life plan of her own. 7 outdates in just 6 years. State Farm agents are there to start you out with life insurance that works for you.
And like a good neighbor,
And we're there to keep it working for you.
State Farm is there.
the fiber that's pound for pound 5 times stronger than steel and is used in this bullet-resistant vest, makes up the unique belt of Road Handler Treadlock radials. Great low prices, Road Handler Tough. That's your money's worth and a whole lot more.
SEC football, over 93,000 on hand here tonight. The Volunteers are driving. They need the 20. Right up the middle. This is Cobb. Breaks it big. He may score. He will. Checkerboards have been penetrated again by the Volunteers. Burke's extra point is good. That was a great job by Lee England on the pass from center to get the ball up.
Watch the offensive line and the fullback position here. Myslinski and McCray on the left side, and then a cruncher at the point of attack. And Cobb is in. Roland Poles, 250 pounds again. And they talked about Cobb, told him he needed to pick up his feet if he wanted big runs. Look at Poles, just a tremendous job. The offensive line. And Cobb, who's now making big runs, is in.
The sights and sounds here in Knoxville, Tennessee. There's the man who scored. His counterpart, Chuck Webb, scored the first touchdown of the night. And did you notice who was jumping all over him as he came off the field? I mentioned that offensive backfield coach David Cutcliffe talked about how these guys get along, and there is no jealousy. It was Webb who was there to hug him after the touchdown. Brian Cleveland. Return was to the near side of the field, and he ran out of protection. Let's go to Bob Carpenter.
All right, Ron, back to Eugene, Oregon we go, and from 6 yards out, Derek Loville will take it in for the Ducks. They'll add the 2-point conversion, and still in the third quarter, it's now a 3-point game with the Cougars visiting.
Thank you, Bob. 17-6 our score. Tennessee, and I talked about the crowd. They are aroused again. Talley, near sideline, and it is caught at the 40 by Marshall. The defensive back, Preston Warren, got turned around. And that quieted a great number of folks in a hurry.
You wonder about these young kids from Georgia with 90,000 people screaming in their face. Play action, first down pass, good protection, and a tremendous pass by Talley ahead of the best defensive back on the Tennessee team, Warren, a Thorpe Award candidate.
Talley again with play action. Throws it backside to the tight end. Broom this time, but he's bumped out of bounds across midfield. Whew. Let's check the storyline on this one as Tennessee on top. 17-6 early on, fourth period. Talley, 155 yards for the Tennessee combination. You see the numbers, only 27. Cobb now with 100. And of course, Webb has done his damage. The tandem getting close to the 200-yard mark. Hampton, left side, wrecked up hard. That's Sean Walker.
You think about Hampton, Rodney Hampton. How good is he? The reason he keeps leaving the field is because his knee keeps locking. They go to the sideline, unlock his knee, and he goes back in the game. It's the kind of running back you want playing for you. Probably cartilage, that's what it sounds like. Rodney says, we'll fix it later. Maybe an adjustment.
Warren Morris, the trainer for Georgia, has been a busy man, as has Tim Caron for Tennessee tonight. Head of steam, and he gets inside the 40-yard line, and he is going to be about 1.5 yards shy of the first down. Mark Fletcher, the strong safety, makes the tackle, and there he goes to the bench again.
I think you can see this happen as he comes to the end of the run. I think you can see it happen. Good blocking on the corner. There's really a big hole here. Fullback, boom. Now here comes Hampton. Now watch his leg. Just kind of stutter steps and goes down a little bit easier than Rodney Hampton normally would. Immediately rubbed that leg and took off for the sideline.
The sophomore Larry Ware played his high school ball in Montgomery, Alabama, and Georgia wants to call a timeout. 13 minutes, 26 seconds left in the ball game. The Volunteers leading by 11.
When the Bass Angler Sportsman Society went fishing for an official truck, they reeled in a Chevy Astro. Rumor has it they were hooked on our superior towing power. Nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America.
Beer was brought over on the Mayflower and shared on the first Thanksgiving. Enjoyed by Puritans and pirates, it's figured prominently throughout our nation's history. Our founding fathers thought highly of beer. In fact, the Continental Congress made it a part of every American soldier's daily ration. Our first president had his own private recipe. Over the next 2 centuries, brewing grew with the country, earning recognition as an important American industry. Today, it's served on the tables of nearly 2/3 of our country's families and enjoyed by 80 million Americans every year. And from the very start, it's always been meant for responsible adults. Beer. It's a good part of the good life. A message from Anheuser-Busch.
Here's another Chevy that really hauls on the track. Chevy Truck, the official truck of NASCAR. Nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America.
ESPN's College Football Saturday, Georgia versus Tennessee, is brought to you by the heartbeat of America. Today's Chevy Truck. By Anheuser-Busch, we brew our fine quality beers to be enjoyed responsibly. Remember, know when to say when. And by the good time, great taste of McDonald's. Some of this huge throng here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Southeastern Conference battle 17-6. The Volunteers on top. Hampton back in the ball game. They got his knee straightened out during the timeout, and he takes it inside the 35, and that is enough for the first down for Georgia, as Martin Williams and Darrell Hardy combine to make the stop.
Johnny Majors, what a job Johnny Majors has done at Tennessee. 9 straight games they've won after going 0-6. He just kept on keeping on. I love that. Johnny, what are you going to do? I'm going to keep on keeping on. When he was 0-6, so he had.
Tennessee, or Georgia rather, running out of the split backs formation this time. Throws to the tight end. Warner complete at the 30-yard line. Pushed out of bounds immediately. Kelly Days over with the cover. It's about 4 times tonight that Georgia has run that route to the tight end, back to the short side of the field.
They get the coverage over there. Tennessee's defending the wide side of the field most of the time. How about Greg Talley? What a job he's done. And the Georgia offense in the first half, virtually nothing on first down. Second half, they're averaging over 7 yards on first down.
Talley protection breaks down over the middle, complete to Rodney Hampton out of the backfield. Does he have the first down? It would appear so from here. See if they bring in the change, which are on the far side of the field. Nope, they will not. Al Ford says first down.
Shazan Bradley, number 40, was a middle guard. When they went to the 4-3, they made a middle linebacker out of him. Number 45, what's the toughest thing to learn? Well, pass coverage, especially guarding a guy like Rodney Hampton. He got it done there, but it was a first down.
This Tennessee defense will sting you also. Where in the backfield at tailback? Reverse on the option. It's Arthur Marshall. Back to the near side and is tackled at the 22. That is great defense by Daryl Hardy.
The thing they say about Hardy, number 87, is he has great range. This is a tremendous call, but there's nothing there because Hardy was never fooled. Look at that ability. He had the outside covered, came back to the inside. Did what a defensive player is supposed to do. Take one side away, took the outside away, played the inside, and was able to make the slot.
Tight end moved on the left side. I believe it was Warner who came out of his stance. So rather than a second down at about 9.5.
The snap and movement by the offensive line. Dead ball foul.
5 penalties for 45 yards, but this one for Georgia fans is huge because it moves the ball back to the 26.5. And to pick up the first down, they got to go to the 12-yard line.
Since the first quarter, Greg Tatley has done an excellent job of running this team. 1 for 4, 9 yards, 10 for 11, 155 yards since the beginning of the second quarter.
Tennessee called timeout. That was Ernest Fields, number 23, who stood up at the line of scrimmage and called a timeout just prior to the snap. Wonder what he saw that was not good.
I think they had 10 men on the field.
We're talking about what a great SEC matchup this one is here tonight, and there are so many. The success of this conference in the 80s. Look at this story here. Almost 70% non-conference winning percentage. Bowl appearances 50. All-Americans, and then the attendance.
I love their football. If you want to do a good football game, you head on down south to the SEC. If you just run down the names of the teams in the conference like Mississippi and Mississippi State and Alabama and Auburn, and I don't want to mention both because you know, I'll upset somebody if I forget somebody, but they are Georgia and Tennessee. Quality programs with a lot of history. Of course, when you talk about the history of college football, Johnny Majors right up front.
Looking at all those numbers right there, and yet when we were talking to Coach Majors yesterday, and also to his offensive coordinator, Coach Fulmer, as he said, what the offensive line, the pride that they have sent 10 kids in 9 years just from here in Tennessee into the National Football League. That's an incredible number.
They've made it work. You're right. That is an incredible number at Tennessee, and a lot of this offensive line is going to head to the NFL.
Talley under pressure, and one of the bookends again. This time it's Daryl Hardy. And Hardy is only a sophomore. You know, we talked about the youth of this Georgia football team, but when you look at the linebackers alone at Tennessee, they play with only one upperclassman, a senior. Everybody else is sophomore or below. Talley under pressure, drills it complete at the 10-yard line to Hummings. Marion Hobby was applying pressure, but how did he get that open over the middle?
This is blitz all the way. Hummings and Talley read it immediately. Hummings going to break it off on the post. Talley, no, here comes Hobby, number 90. He's going to have lunch on Talley, but what a job by Greg Talley and Hummings, who broke it off in the post. This ball is thrown before Hummings breaks it off, and oh, he's got it. Tremendous offense by Georgia. Not a passing team? Well, maybe they are.
Talley falls down, almost as if one of the offensive linemen stepped back on his foot, and I think that's what happened.
That was a running play. I don't know how an offensive lineman would step back on your foot when you're going to hand off to a tailback. I mean, they should be going the other way.
Loss back to the 13. Second down and goal. Talley, it is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Tracy Hayward.
One of the first things they teach you on the line, if something's going to happen quick, certainly at the goal line, because you can't throw it high when you're going into the end zone. You have to throw it quick and low. If it's a quick play and you can't get to the quarterback, stop, put those hands up. Tennessee, obviously very well coached, made it work.
Talley under pressure again. It is intercepted. Back to the 9-yard line. Picked off by Ernest Fields.
Ernest Fields backs up at middle linebacker. Now he's just 5'10", but he's in there because he's good against the pass. Number 23, they were trying to go to number 12 right there. Arthur Marshall. Fields, watch the reaction by Fields. He's not wearing 23 because he's a great linebacker. That's a defensive back's number, playing the inside backer position. If he didn't get it, Preston would have.
Straight ahead goes Reggie Cobb back to the line of scrimmage, and that is about it. So Georgia driving, and the Tennessee defense reaches up and puts a stop to it. As Fields, only a sophomore from Milan, Tennessee, is the man who made the pickoff. And again, it was pressure on the quarterback, causing him to throw before he wanted.
Tennessee defense is one of the great stories in the nation this year.
This is Cobb, turns the corner, head-high tackle, and he is belted down at the 10. It'll be third.
This Georgia team, Ron, when you think about it, what I said, 44 sophomores, freshmen, redshirt freshmen out of 68 players for Ray Goff, and they'll be back for 2 more years. If they can do this against Tennessee, what kind of team are they going to have in a year or two?
Both of these clubs. Cobb to the other side, breaks it for 5. Out close to the first down, but he's not going to have it. And Georgia will get the football back with what should be decent field position, because Tennessee is going to be kicking into the wind.
Georgia has made a living for 25 years with Vince Dooley on blocking kicks, playing defense, and making field goals. Here is a shot here where they'll come after this, I believe.
Good job by Elmore, and his kick into the wind straight up. Fair catch has been signaled for, and Marshall makes it at the 48-yard line. It's a 33-yard kick. Georgia gets it back. Just under 7.5 to play. It's the Vols by 11.
Just off Route 19 in St. Petersburg is a place where you can learn to ski the Alps and shoot the rapids all in the same building. At Bill Jackson Sporting Goods, you can practice everything from a stem Christie to an Eskimo roll. But if you go there, remember, bring your imagination and your Visa card. Because Bill Jackson doesn't promise you Sun Moritz, and he doesn't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Listen to the heartbeat
heartbeat of America.
For today's work, today's world, Chevrolet will introduce more new vans in 1990 than anyone else anywhere. Nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America. Today's truck is Chevrolet.
The heartbeat of America. Today's truck is Chevrolet.
You know what? My dad bought a new car. So did mine. My dad got a V8. My dad got a V12. My dad got a sunroof. My dad got a convertible. My dad got a CD player. My dad got a car phone. My dad got Michelin. Michelin? Well, my mom's prettier than your mom.
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Neyland Stadium, Knoxville, Tennessee. And a gorgeous night in October. You see the time remaining. Tennessee on top by 11. It is imperative that Georgia, if they're going to stay in this one, get something going. And they bring Preston Jones, the redshirt freshman, out at quarterback again. Sets in the pocket again to the tight end of the short side of the field, and it's Broome. Shazan Bradley will bump him out.
Pass, complete, to Broome.
This is a little surprising, I think. Talley, we showed you Talley's statistics. He was 10 for 11 before that interception. He's not hurt. Bringing Preston Jones in here. This is a big, big drive. Well, let's see what Ray Goff has in mind. Maybe he knows something that we don't know about the young man.
Stoppage in play, no foul. Whistling the clock back in.
You have to wonder, it's not his ability you question, but the timing and the cadence and all the things that change when you change a quarterback.
Over the middle, has a man open. Touchdown, Marshall.
He's yelling two, go for two. And now, you know, he doesn't want to play for a tie here. He's saying, let's go for two.
I think we just found out what he had in mind.
Yeah. He knows something about that young man that we don't know, all right.
Deep post, Arthur Marshall was there, and Georgia has asked for the ball to be aligned on the left hash mark. Pressure, and the pass is caught by Bram Cleveland. Good heavens, Daryl Hardy was all over him, and Jones still got it away.
Jones got it away, and the defense fell down. All right, here's your fullback. It's a trips formation to the right. Three quick receivers. Cleveland is playing the one closest to the tackle the ball. See, as you see Preston falling over his own man, could not get to it. Now here's the TD, and this is the offensive line, and a rocket pass. Straight down the middle for Marshall. Safeties are not getting over, and the difference may be between Talley and Jones. Look how quick the ball got there. Got there in front of the defense, and maybe Talley's arm wouldn't have got it there. Good job by the offensive line. That thing's a bullet in the chest and a shot in the back, but not good enough. Preston Jones, is he happy?
Well, the coaches described him as a young man who loves to stand back in the pocket regardless of what is going around him or at him. And he proved it not only on the touchdown, but on the two-point conversion. We have a 17-14 game. Tennessee's lead cut to 3. Pickens to the 21. Gentlemen, both sides of the ball. Nobody needs a penalty right here. 6 minutes, 47 seconds left to play.
Nothing fancy here. Offense against defense.
Webb right up the middle, over the 25, out to the 28, and that's just sheer power. Myslinski, Fisher, Still, McCray, and Davis. So you just get behind them and hook them up.
Well, Bill Goldberg and McCray really went at it after that play. No call, but Goldberg with a body slam on number 70 on the offensive line.
Reggie Cobb in the lineup. He gets the call. Is going to be tripped up in the backfield, and that's David Hargett with the great defensive play. It's going to be third down, and Tennessee needs the 31. Play of the game, we will see. Linebackers creeping up, and Cobb will be knocked down for no gain. Demetrius Douglas, the first man through.
They tried to trap. They wanted to trap with the guard. It didn't work. Now watch to the top right of your screen. Here comes Still trying to trap, but the Georgia defense playing close fills it. Exactly what the linebacker's supposed to do. When he reads the guard, go into the center, get in a hole, that's exactly what he did, and they stuffed it.
Elmore, as Georgia has the return on it. Beautiful spiral. Back to the 26-yard line is Arthur Marshall. So with 4:59 left to play, we're going to take a break.
Yeehaw! Where do you go when you want Texas-style eating? The Jalapeno Tree, of course. Your place for great food and good times. We're well known for our jalapeno burgers and a variety of unusual burgers. We also feature fine Mexican food, including our sizzling fajitas. Stop by and enjoy our happy hours Monday through Thursday, 11 to 7, and Friday, 3 to 7. Or have a tree margarita while you enjoy major sporting events on our big screen TV. We also feature live bands on Friday and Saturday night, 9 to 1. The Jalapeno Tree, 316 Nassau Road 1 in Webster.
With summertime fun and vacation travel right around the corner, I just don't have time to worry about a breakdown. And Tommy, Toby, and Jerry never have to worry about me because they've got 3 of the most dependable, reliable service departments around at Hammond Auto Parts. And that assures safety on the road.
NFL's legendary teams could battle to determine football's best ever. It's no longer a dream. It's the most unique and revolutionary concept in television sports history. NFL Dream Season. Sunday, Joe Namath tries to spoil Don Shula's perfect team. The 68 Jets face the 72 Dolphins on NFL Dream Season at 8:15 Eastern on ESPN.
College football Saturday, and yet another barn burner. Last week, Pitt came with 22 unanswered in the fourth to tie West Virginia at 31. Do we have another one of those kind of finishes in the making? We got 4 minutes and 59 seconds left in this story. Preston Jones sets in the pocket, and he will be sacked at the 20-yard line. Boy, and the talk continues. Big number 72 there to make the stop is James Wilson. Some other scores: Arkansas by 3 over TCU at halftime. Washington State over Oregon. What a ball game there in the fourth. LSU still by 4 over Florida. Another big one in the SEC. Memphis State shutting out Vanderbilt. They're at halftime. protection out of the backfield. Hampton spun around, and he will be caught from behind by Marion Hobby. Walker was the first man who hit him.
Marion Hobby, number 90, was a great tackle. His even a better defensive end. From the other side, Hampton using his physical ability to get loose, and Marion Hobby never stopping. Tremendous coaching there. Doug Matthews, the defensive coordinator here, and boy, they get these guys rolling in front of 90,000, and they are tough.
Marker is down in the backfield. The pass is knocked away. Maxwell, the intended receiver, and it was Preston Warren, number 21, a junior from right here in Knoxville. And now let's check that marker. Penalty will be declined. Two men moving at the same time in the play for Georgia. They will have to punt it away.
Great defensive stand by the Tennessee defense when they had to have it. Hester's a former quarterback.
Joey Hester back at his own 4-yard line. Hanging spiral, and Woods calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 44. Well, let's take a look at the scoring summary of this ball game as we have 3:11 left to play. Tennessee on top by 3. Webb opened it up, and in the first quarter, as Tennessee just took it right down the field. It made it 7-0. Then Burke with the field goal. 10-0 Tennessee, and they looked very convincing. But Casey came back with a couple of field goals to make it 10-6. And then Cobb in the fourth. Tennessee on top 17, and now 17-14 as Georgia to Marshall on the 39-yard touchdown pass. Fullback right up the middle, big rolling poles, goes for a couple as Tennessee would like to see that clock hit fast forward.
Just in case the offense doesn't move the ball. They went with 2 tight ends then, Ron, and the fullback. And you can't, they're telling them what they're going to do. 35 points and 6 losses. That was last year. 12.8 and 9 wins since then, 14 tonight.
Play action. Kenton back to the open side of the field. Has it complete at the 38 to Thomas Woods. Good for 16 yards.
Georgia has 1 timeout. Tennessee has 1 timeout. Bulldogs need to stop it. It was a big first down.
Pulls again, this time to the right side. Oh my goodness. Bell, one of the first men, and then Demetrius Douglas, number 53, still had him in the air on a running back. It's over 250 and slammed him to the turf.
And you have to remember that Tennessee rushed for 350 yards against a very good Auburn team. And look at this. This guy's 251, but you like to see guys jump when they weigh 251 because they weigh less in the air than they do on the ground.
Under 2 to play. Misdirection. Cobb runs into his own man. Still fighting. Will have a couple, maybe 3. Mo Lewis, one of the first men there, and it's going to be 3rd down Tennessee. They need the Georgia 28. David Hargett is shaken up on the play. He was the Georgia player who was down.
He's a tough kid, Hargett. They put him in there. He was a corner. They let him play safety some. He's very strong on the sweeps, which means he'll come up and hit you. A lot of times they get shaken up. He's okay.
Richard Bell said that he has been an extremely pleasant surprise for the Georgia defense. Don't forget, immediately following our game, College Football School Board, Bob Carpenter, Bino Cook, Lee Corso, and they'll tell you what happened today. Then at 10:30, it's out to the Pac-10. Arizona State will take on UCLA.
This is the game.
Kenton on the reverse, and he can run all day for the first down and even more. First down Volunteers at the 21. What a call by Coach Majors and his staff. Wynn is the man who knocked him out of bounds.
The call was the difference. It was never intended to go anywhere else. The Georgia defense, knowing they have to stop the tailback, the one guy you never cover is the quarterback. Can Sterling dance? Sterling can dance.
That's a first down dance.
Yes, it is.
Kenton took an extra amount of time to go down on one knee. And the blocking and pushing up front continued. No markers were thrown. And it looks like Georgia has used that final timeout. 54 seconds left in the ball game. Tennessee leading by 3.
It's just a pure and natural beer for you. So icy cold, so crisp, so clear.
Of all the beers that are cold filtered, only one has that distinctively clean, crisp taste. Budweiser, cold filtered and Beechwood aged for over 110 years.
This blood's for you.
Please. Mr. Garfield, welcome to Embassy Suites Hotel.
My room.
Here you get a suite for about the price of a room at most Marriotts or Hyatts.
Beautiful. Don't change a thing.
The living room, sir.
Love what you've done with this room.
The bedroom.
This is great. I need my space.
And of course you'll want to take advantage of Embassy Suites free breakfast.
Food.
Served every morning.
At Embassy Suites, you don't have to be a fat cat to enjoy the sweet life.
I resemble that remark.
Volunteers by 3 points with less than a minute to play. Both of these teams coming in 1-0 in Southeastern Conference play. The Johnny Majors group less than a minute away from going 2-0 in the Southeastern Conference. Kenton goes down on one knee, and now the Georgia Bulldogs cannot stop the clock. Ray Goff. Well, in the meeting yesterday, he said, win, lose, or draw, one of the things I expect from this extremely young football team, and I'll be disappointed if it's not, is that they will get after you for the entire 60. They have not disappointed. And on the other side of the field, that will be the last play of the ball game, as again some shoving up front. But Johnny Majors now, after an 0-6 start in 1988, will have won 10 straight ball games. Truly amazing. The crowd will count it down. As the fireworks go off here at Neyland Stadium, tonight's Visa Players of the Game are from the University of Georgia, Rodney Hampton, And from the University of Tennessee, Reggie Cobb. As part of their continuing development of amateur athletics, Visa is proud to donate $1,000 to each of these universities and $1,000 to the U.S. Olympic team. Tennessee wins it 17-14. They go 2-0 in Southeastern Conference play. And now let's go to Bob Carpenter.
All right, Ron, thank you very much. Tennessee holds on to win it, and now the winning streak reaches 10 for Johnny Majors and his Volunteers. Welcome to our college football scoreboard. Bob Carpenter along with Bino Cook and Lee Corso. They'll be joining me shortly for some observations on what's been a wild week 6 in college football so far. We've also got highlights all over the place with scores from around the nation, and we'll get set to do all of that when we come back in just a moment as week 6 culminates for the moment with a Tennessee win at home, and a little later on, Arizona State at UCLA.
Miss Caitlin Phillips demonstrates the loading of the new Fuji Discovery 60 compact camera. As with most Fuji cameras, the Discovery 60 comes complete with autofocus, auto flash, and auto wind. And one more feature that you can't get on any other make of camera: drop-in loading. So now you can load a roll of film faster than you can get it out of the box. Only Fuji cameras have drop-in loading. Fuji, a new way of seeing things.
You sure it's for 11? I don't think they keep you waiting for a thing like this. Who knows how long this is going to take? Oh, I ate too much.
Come. Sit down.
Okay, okay. Oh.
Mr. Miller, Ms. Vitry.
The one that coats is the only one you need.